Oh man, people are going to be so underwhelmed. So underwhelmed. Welcome, Stuck in the Middle. Oh man, I think, hang on, let's turn the camera on here. Let's see what people can see with us. Oh shit. Oh shit, as you can see, we are here live on the presidential debate night. A little late. I think we got here just on time. We're going to be hanging out, streaming, going back and forth with what this debate holds. Right now, we are Brockless. We are Eli-less. But we do have our great friend of the show, Panjo, with us.
Thank you, guys.
And as loyal as one could be, Adam. Adam is here. What is up, buddy? What's up, guys? You know, shit. Oddly, when I look at that, we still got the post show up there, man. This whole thing is a clusterfuck. We started so late, or so just so randomly here.
Yeah.
When I first went to put the live stream up on our second monitor here, and I went to log in through Comcast, and I did no problem, and I dragged it to the second monitor, and OBS, I was seeing picture on this side, and as I dragged it to that monitor, it went away. YouTube doesn't go. I'm thinking there's some algorithm that doesn't allow you to actually like stream like an actual. I didn't know that, but luckily we do have this going on. So let's tune in real quick and see what's going on currently here at the debates. I think what this is what is Chris Wallace here? Eli should be here about what 9:30.
Yeah. Brock said he won't be able to make it.
Good evening from the Health
alternator.
Education Campus of Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic.
This is going to be an interesting one.
I'm ready,
to say the least. And it's funny that it's on Fox, because I bet a lot of the certain side left are freaking out.
This debate is sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates.
And we'll see if we get booted off. We're I don't know if we can necessarily do this or not, but we're trying.
Wait. I got it. Biden.
So you're saying we can keep the stream if we just keep chanting Biden.
Yeah, that's the only reason we're watching the Fox.
I'm trying to get the chat to load. Trying to get the hello Ashley, hello Eric, hello Ryan. Yeah, we're on Fox right now. That's really the only one that seems to be working for us right now.
Yeah, guys, this
good
is
good excuse.
This is the debate for the runner-ups of presidents. I am by default the president.
Let's see how fast we get booted. I'm gonna keep switching back and forth just to us like that, And I like no booze. You're on AB. Okay, Ryan's on ABC.
Focus on what the candidates have to say.
Mine was better. I'm sure it was, Brian. This sucks.
President Trump.
We didn't even get to do any pre-show rituals, anything like that. It's a clusterfuck.
It's okay. Like this debate will be.
We didn't even get to shock them all.
Okay, here I come. I'm coming out right now. Oh my God, Joe! I can't believe we're here. Joe Biden actually kind of played into it. He's like, "Hey."
He looked happy to see him. He's like, "Don, look at you.
You're looking really good today."
Extra orange.
Okay, here we go. Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
A lot of people have been waiting for this night, so let's get going.
Bet you a lot of people are tuning in there, Chrissy.
Supreme Court. President Trump, you nominated Amy Coney Barrett over the weekend.
You son of a bitch. He just adds that in there.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the court. You say the Constitution is clear about your obligation.
Nice lighting. Good lighting.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
A nominee to the court. Vice
good
President Biden.
Hello, Panda.
This is an effort by the president and Republicans to jam through an appointment and what you call
Can we get podiums?
an abuse of power. My first question
We should get
to both of
podiums.
you
Okay, here we go. First question of the night.
In the argument you make, and your opponent wrong, and where do you think a Justice Barrett would take the court? President Trump, in this first segment,
awesome
you
if
go first. 2 minutes.
Either one of them just like stroked
I will
out.
tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences. We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all, top academic, good in every way. In fact, some of her biggest endorsers are very liberal people. from Notre Dame and other places. So I think she's going to be fantastic.
She
We have
has
plenty of time.
a family
We
that
did
is
it after the
multiracial
election
too,
itself.
which
had a
I
lot
didn't
of
know. I
time
just
after the election,
stumbled
as you
upon.
know.
I was like, oh, whoa!
So I think that
Did not know
she will
that.
be outstanding.
Post-show
She's
debate
going
for
to
sure,
be,
Ryan.
As good as anybody that has served on that court. We really feel that we have a professor
For
at Notre
sure.
Dame, highly respected.
Like I said,
by
Eli
us,
will be here in a
and
little
she's the
bit.
single
Brock
greatest
can't make it
student
tonight.
He's ever had. He's been a professor for a long time at a great school, and we won the election, and therefore we have the right to choose her. And very few people.
I have with me two very political pundits, Benjamin Sweet and Adam Hose.
There's no way they would give it up.
I'm already the president.
But the problem
I'm
is
enjoying
they
the,
didn't win
United
election,
stuck
so
in the middle.
They were stopped.
I'm enjoying my
And
Chinese food.
probably that would happen.
He's
in
the
reverse
president of
also.
the Chinese
Definitely
food.
would happen in reverse. So we won the
I
election,
represent
and
the,
we have the right to
Asians.
do it, Chris.
I'm just interested to see
President
because
Trump, thank
okay,
you.
let's see.
Same question to you, Vice President.
When Biden
You
forms
have two
complete
minutes.
sentences,
First of all,
I'm very impressed.
Thank you for doing this and looking forward to this, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Joe.
Yeah, right.
He already forgot what they asked.
The American people.
Look at that, dude. Trump is so orange right now.
Nominee is,
right?
and that say
Looks like a
occurs
fucking
when they
confused
vote
carrot.
for a United
Bronze,
States senators,
if you would.
and when they vote
Alizar,
for
me too, man. That's what we're
President of the
doing.
United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election
No Brock
already.
Panda.
The
Sorry.
election has already started. Tens of thousands of people have already voted.
Oh
So
boy.
the thing that should happen is we should wait. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is, because that's the only
Yes,
way the American
correct.
people get to express their view.
That's normally what
is by
people do
who
with
they
election
elect as
results.
president and who they elect as vice president. Now,
People don't
what's at
elect vice
stake here
president
is the
there,
president's
Biden.
made it clear he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He's been running on that. He ran on that, and he's been governing on that.
Hmm.
He's in the Supreme Court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which will strip 20 million people
Yeah.
from having.
Someone wheeled them
insurance,
up there
health
on a
insurance
gurney,
now
Brian, and they were
if
like,
if
"It's
they- if they go to
alive!"
court. And
They had to, like,
the
crank
justice,
him.
and I have nothing. I'm not opposed to the justice. She seems like a very fine person. But she's
It
written
does look
before
like
she
he was in
went
the
to bench,
tanning
which
booth,
is her right,
actually.
that she thinks that the
tanning
Affordable
booth
Care Act
is
is not
huge.
constitutional.
How are you all doing tonight
The
in the
other thing is on
chat?
the court, and if it's struck
What's
down,
new? What do you
happens?
guys think of the?
Women's rights are
I'm
fundamentally
surprised it
changed.
even.
Once
I'm
again,
surprised it even
A woman
happened.
could be held more money because she has a pre-existing
And
condition.
I wouldn't also be surprised if it's just underwhelming as all
Charge
hell.
more for the same exact procedure a man did.
Think too much hype.
Gets.
Right,
And that
exactly.
ended when we, in fact, passed the Affordable Care Act.
I don't know.
And there's
I think Trump is
100
gonna-
million people who have pre-existing conditions.
People are
Amp it up.
expecting
They'll be
Trump
taken
to
away as
just
well.
crush
Those
him.
pre-existing conditions.
No, I don't know about crushing, but
insurance
I.
companies are going to love
Oh,
it.
they
gonna-
are.
he's
I mean,
gonna
well, I
lose
guess
his
certain.
Face, he's already.
to do this before this election.
All right,
If he
yeah, no
wins
problem, Panda.
the
We'll
election,
be here
the
till
Senate is a
10:30.
Democrat, a Republican, then he goes forward. If not, we should wait. Until
Everybody looked at the time like,
Around
oh, it's
100
fucking.
million people
It's another fucking hour and 20 minutes.
As far as the say is concerned, the people already had their say. Okay, Justice Ginsburg said very powerfully, very strongly, at some point,
Biden
10
a little
years
smirk
ago
there.
or so, she said a president and the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next
During
election.
that period of time, we have an opening.
Does he
I'm
know
not
what he's
elected for
talking
3
about?
years.
Does
I'm
Trump
elected
know
for
what he
4
means?
years.
The
And the
election's
100
already
million
started.
people.
I think he's just going by his own
100
logic.
million people is totally wrong. I don't know where you got that number. The bigger problem that you have is that you're going to extinguish 180 million.
Here's
people
where
with
it
their
comes.
Private health care.
It's Chris Wallace hosting the debate, Ryan.
To socialist.
This is- we're now into, gentlemen, we're now into open discussion.
Open discussion.
Open discussion. Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Vice President.
Number one,
Right, Brian.
He knows that what I proposed. What I proposed is that we expand Obamacare and we increase it. We do not wipe any. And one of the big debates we had
on
was
the
23
DNC, they
of my
had
colleagues
Medicare
trying
for
to win
all,
the nomination
one of
that
those
I
things
won.
on there, and
They're
they just
saying
shut that
Biden
right
wanted
down.
to
So
allow
yes,
people
let's.
to have
Yeah,
private
he wants to
insurance still.
expand Obamacare.
They
My
can.
ass.
They do. They will under my proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what
that
your
is-
party has said.
that is simply
your party
a lie.
doesn't say it. Your
That
party
is
wants to
simple.
go socialist
My
medicine.
party is
and
me.
socialist
Right
healthcare.
now, I am
And
the
they're gonna
Democrat.
It's just two old men
dominate you, you know
fighting.
that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the Democratic Party is what I...
Damn, this is where it begins.
Now, here's the deal.
He said Harris has your balls in her
It's
purse.
going to wipe out pre-existing conditions. And by the way,
You fucking child.
the 200,000 people that have died on his watch, how many of those
You're goddamn right.
survived? Well, there's 7 million people that contracted COVID. What does it mean for them going forward if you strike down the Affordable Care Act?
2 million people were supposed to die, by the way. Only 200,000 did. So, I mean,
dying because you
it's a
couldn't
win.
provide them proper health care in the military. So don't tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about
And
this.
if you were here,
Look,
it
here's
wouldn't be
the deal.
200. It would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily infected. You
Here we
didn't want
go.
me to ban
All right, gentlemen,
Europe,
which
which
no,
was
Oh,
heavily
oh,
infected.
oh, he gave him the finger.
Mr. President,
later.
Mr. President,
Mr. President, Chris Wallace doesn't like Trump either, by the way. He's not a fan.
we are going to talk about COVID in the next segment, but go ahead.
The next
Let me
segment.
finish. The point is that the president also is opposed to Roe v. Wade. That's on the
Ooh,
ballot
this is
as
going to
well
hurt him.
in
I
the
wish
court.
Eli was
In the
here for
court.
this shot
And so
because
that's also at
Eli
stake
does not
right now.
like Trump for
And
this.
so the election is all
You don't know it's on the ballot. Why is it on the ballot?
Because
Why is
you
it on the
said
ballot? It's not on the ballot.
It's on the ballot in the
I
court.
don't think so.
In the court. Well,
There's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And you
just
don't
be quiet
know
for a
her
minute?
Roe v. Wade. You
I
don't know
don't
her
know.
view.
Well, all right. Let's talk.
He kind of got him on that. He kind of got him on that.
So,
Man,
on
this is
healthcare,
where I think,
and
oh
then we'll
boy.
come back to Roe
Oh
v.
boy.
Wade.
Joe
All
Biden's
right.
going to
Mr.
throw
President,
shots he
the
can't back
Supreme
up.
Court will hear
It might get a little
case
juicy.
a week after the election in which the Trump administration, along with 18
Right,
state
sure.
attorneys general, are seeking to overturn
That's right.
Obamacare, to end Obamacare. You have spent the
Can I
last
change my
Because they
wager
wanna give
first
good
half?
health care.
If I may ask a question, sir.
Oh,
Healthcare.
Over the last 4 years, you have promised to repeal and replace
Promised.
Obamacare, but you have never in these
Joe-
4
Joe's
years
got a flag
come
pin?
up with a plan,
I didn't notice.
a comprehensive plan
Yes,
to
I have.
replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well, I'll
I
give
got
you
rid
an
of
opp-
the
and when I
individual
finish,
mandate.
I'm going to give you an
Excuse me.
opportunity.
I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a
That is
big
not a
chunk of
comprehensive plan.
That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst
I
part of
didn't ask,
Obamacare.
sir.
Chris,
You're
that was the
debating
this
worst
is,
part of Obamacare.
listen, now you're looking like a buffoon. Take it easy.
The individual mandate was the most unpopular
Mr. Vice
aspect of
Mr.
Obamacare. I
President,
got rid of it.
I'd like
and
you
we
to-
will protect
Mr.
people
President,
with
I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this
conditions.
debate, and I would like you to let me ask
Yeah,
my
he's
question,
gonna.
and then you can answer
He's
it.
doing it wrong there because when you get the moderator worked up, you're gonna look like the bad guy.
To
Right.
replace Obamacare, and just this last Thursday, you signed a largely symbolic executive order to protect people with pre-existing
Yeah,
conditions
exactly, Drew.
5 days before this debate. So my question, sir, is what is the Trump health care plan?
Fine. Well,
Good
first of all, I guess
question.
I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not surprised. Let me just tell you something.
Always.
I mean, they're gonna ask the question to Biden too, buddy.
Cutting drug prices, I'm going with favored nations, which
They just
no
don't like each
president
other.
has the courage to do because you're going against big pharma. Drug prices will be coming down 80 or 90%.
He's done a lot for insulin.
Your 47-year
100%.
period in government, but you didn't do it. Nobody's done it. So we're cutting health care.
What about
All of the
pre-existing
things that
conditions?
we've done,
He has not cut
insulin.
health
I give
care.
you an example. Insulin. It was destroying families, destroying people because I'm getting it for so cheap. It's like water. You want to know the truth. So
He's
cheap.
such a dick.
Take a look at all of the drugs that while we're doing prescription drug prices. We're
Biden
gonna allow
just
our
thought that,
governors now
too.
to go to other countries to buy drugs because
When in
they
fact-
pay just a tiny
As
fraction.
I say,
of
this
what
is
we do.
open discussion.
I mean,
You'll be
that's
happy-
not necessarily
you'll be-
true.
you'll be
This is
happy,
big stuff.
sir. You'll be
I really
happy
hope Trump
about
stops
the
doing that. I
technology
really hope he
to
stops.
ask the Vice President, which is he points
Just
out
going off.
Over-
that you
yeah.
would like to add a public option
He's shooting his load
to
way too quick.
Obamacare, and
Yes.
the argument that he makes and other Republicans make is that is going to end private insurance.
It is
and
not.
well,
Yeah.
I'll ask you the question. It will
Not what
end.
your party says, by the way.
It will end private insurance.
A big
and
orange
create a
shit on his
government
desk,
takeover of
Brian.
healthcare.
It does
Your
not.
response
It's
to that?
only for those people who are so poor they qualify for Medicaid. They can get that free in most states, except governors who want to deny people who are poor Medicaid. Anyone who qualifies for Medicare would, Medicaid would
Yes,
automatically
first.
be enrolled in the public option. The vast majority of the American people would still not be in that option. Number one.
Joe, you
Number
agreed
two.
with Bernie Sanders, who's far
did.
left, on the manifesto,
Well,
we
you-
call it.
well,
And that
manifesto.
gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
Are you
I'm
saying
not
you
going to
didn't
listen to
agree?
him. The fact of the
Come
matter
on,
is,
man.
I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
Because Bernie Sanders kind of
Gave it up.
gave it up, dude.
Left 2
I
days
tell
early,
you,
you would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday.
Dude,
Look,
Trump,
very
just
lucky
come
today.
on, man.
I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to make
Someone's
sure,
getting pussy.
because Here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to
Okay.
call out his lies.
What's a
Everybody knows
lie?
he's
I don't like when they
But
just
I just
listen.
wanna make sure-
I agree, Jim.
Broad stroke.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your
I-
class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be
you know,
surprised.
you picked
Be surprised. Go
the
ahead.
wrong guy, the wrong night at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed
He's
with
really
Bernie
coming off
Sanders, said
bad.
the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Let him-
disavowing it.
There is no manifesto. Number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan.
Folks,
absolutely agreed
folks, do you
to,
have any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
They call it
Mr.
Do you
Medicare.
have any do?
Socialized medicine.
Mr.
Well, I
President.
tell you what, he is not.
I feel like this is
for
Trump's plan.
Any help for people needing health care. Because
Not to actually debate.
Because he,
But
in
also,
fact,
Biden is just
already
saying these
has
broad
cost
strokes.
10
He
million
doesn't want to
people
help
health care
people. So,
Yeah.
like, he's going to say, well, this is what I
because of
did.
his recession.
Yeah, Mike,
Number
Trump
one.
is- Trump is
There
funny, but
are
he's-
20 million
he's really,
people getting health care through Obamacare.
I
now.
feel like it's
He
not
wants to
necessarily a
take it
good
away.
look.
He won't ever look you in the eye and say that's what he wants to do. Take it away.
No, I want to give
Number
them better
three.
health care at a
Pocahontas.
much lower price
But-
because
and by the way,
Obamacare
he
He turned off
is
his mic,
He
right?
doesn't know how
I've
to do
already
that.
fixed it.
He has never
I've
offered
already
a
fixed
plan.
it to an extent.
He has never done.
Yeah,
a
they're-
You
single
might
thing.
know, but probably don't.
I think his game plan is just to tire Biden out.
Go ahead, sir.
Obamacare
It's a good-
is no
it's a good
good.
strategy.
We made it better, and I had a choice to make very early on. We took away the individual mandate. We guarantee pre-existing conditions, but took away the individual
true.
mandate. Listen, this is the way it is. They should even call it Obamacare. Then I had a choice to make.
I like that Biden. I really like that Biden's kind of laughing it off.
Or badly. If I run it badly, they'll probably blame him, but they'll blame me. But more importantly, I want to help people. Okay? I said, you got to run it so well.
That's what he's
and I
known
just had a meeting with them. They said the problem is no matter how well you run Obamacare, it's a disaster. It's too expensive.
A lot of people didn't like it.
And it doesn't work. So
I know
we-
tons of people
we
who
do
did
want to
that.
get rid of it.
It's
Chris,
an
we
open-
want to get rid of it.
Drew, did we not expect this, though, this shit show?
Equal time. Please let the vice president talk.
Good.
He has no plan for health care. Of
course we do.
Why, yeah, honestly, that's Biden's plan, too. I'm going to say these things to work him up because I know he can't help himself.
Yeah.
He's been promising a health care plan since he got elected. He has none, like almost everything else he talks about. He does not have a plan.
I
He
definitely
doesn't have a
don't
plan.
think he,
And the fact
like,
is,
does
this
anybody
man
know?
doesn't
Inform me
know
I'm
what
wrong.
he's
Does
talking
Trump have a good health care plan? What does he have?
Mr. Vice President, if Senate Republicans, we were talking originally about the Supreme Court here.
Okay,
if Senate
Chris.
Republicans
Smug.
go ahead and confirm Justice Barrett, there has been talk about ending the filibuster or even packing the court, adding to the 9
Joe Biden
justices
did say
there.
previously
You call this a
in
distraction
like
by the
2018 he
president.
was
In fact,
not
it
in
was brought
favor
up
of
by the
packing the
president.
courts.
It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in,
Well, I'm
in
saying-
the Congress. So my question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue.
Kevin says the
issue
majority
is
of people
American
in red
people should
states use
speak.
Obamacare.
You should go out
It's a
and
fact from
vote.
months ago.
You're in voting
Well, it's
now.
called Trump care
Vote
now.
and let your senators know how
you gonna
strongly
pack
you
the
feel.
court?
Vote now.
He's not answering the question, though.
Let people know
He doesn't want
you're a
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question is the
The question was literally, are you going to pack the courts?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
Gentlemen, I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the
unprecedented.
court.
That-
Yep.
We're not going to give a list.
Just-
We've ended this segment. We're gonna
Just,
move on to the
you know,
second segment.
That
buzzwords.
was really a productive segment.
Unpresidential, Joe, would also be not answering the question you were asked.
They sure did.
47 years.
Yeah,
you've done
he said, would you
nothing.
shut up, man?
The second subject is COVID-19. Which
Oh,
is an awful
boy.
serious subject. So
Should I get my mask on?
This is fucking. We got like a solid hour
more
left.
than 7 million.
Let me get my
cases
Chinese food
of
up.
Coronavirus in the United
Can
States,
you
and more than
can you do one of them
200,000
things there
people
with one of them
have
glass
died.
pieces?
Even after we produce
Oh,
a vaccine, experts say that it could be months or even years before we come back to anything approaching normal. My question for both of you is, based on what you have said and done so far and what you have said you would
It is
do
like two high
starting in
schoolers, Anthony.
2021, why should the American people trust you more than your opponent to deal with this public health crisis going forward?
I'm interested. I'm very interested in both their
Question goes to you
responses.
first, sir. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted.
Good luck.
Come on, Trump. See, but like,
200,000 deaths.
how do you,
As you said, over
as
7
two high
million
schoolers,
infected in
but
the United
if the
States.
first words out of your mouth
We,
is
in
like a
fact,
shot
have
at the other guy,
5%
you want him to
4%
say
of the
something.
world's
Of course.
population, 20% of the deaths. 40,000 people a day are contracting COVID. In addition to that,
Very low
about
death rate,
between
though.
750 and 1,000 people a day are dying. When he was presented with that number, he said, "It is what it is." Well, it is what it is because you are who you are. That's why.
Oh,
it is.
this is.
The president
Oh, that was so
has no
scripted.
plan.
Look, he's looking
He
at.
hasn't laid
Oh,
out anything. He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was.
made lockdowns.
He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he knew it. He said he didn't tell us or give people a warning of it because he didn't want to panic the American people. You don't panic. He panicked. In addition to that, what did he do? He went
I
in
don't
and
know if he
we were
panicked, Joe.
insisting that the Chinese, the people we had on the ground in China should be able to go to Wuhan and determine for themselves how dangerous
Yes, it
this
was, Drew.
He did not even ask Xi to do that.
Ask
He told
Xi
us
to
what
do
a great
that?
job Xi was doing. He said we owe him a debt of gratitude for being so transparent with us.
Uh-oh.
And what did he do then? He then did nothing. He waited and waited and waited. He still doesn't have a plan. I laid out back in March exactly what we should be doing. And I laid out again in July what we should be doing. We should be providing
Hey,
all
Trump
the
restrained himself.
protective gear possible. We should be providing the money the House has passed in order to be able to go out and get people the help they need to keep their businesses open schools. It costs a lot of money. You should get out of your bunker and get out of the sand trap and get in your golf course and go in the Oval Office and bring together the Democrats and Republicans and fund what needs to be done now to save lives.
So if we would have listened to you,
You have 2 minutes, sir.
if we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died.
It's true.
200,000,
That part's true.
and one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India. They don't exactly give
How
you
y'all
straight
doing
facts,
out there?
so you understand.
Chime in the
But if
chat.
you look
Thanks
at
for
what
tuning in
we've
to
done,
the
I closed
us
it,
live
and
streaming
you
here.
said
Again, it's not really a show. We're just hanging out. So we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Wait a minute.
It says 2 minutes.
You didn't think we should have closed our country because you thought it was terrible. You wouldn't have closed it for another 2 months. By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said, President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of your Democrat governors said, President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really?
I don't like Joe's coy laughs.
The
Like
governor
like it,
said
dude.
those
phenomenal
fake. I
job.
know, but
Most of them
before I
said
thought
that.
it.
In
I
fact,
feel like it's like
people that would not
fake.
be
Oh, no,
necessarily on my
100%.
side
I
Like-
totally agree.
President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got
Yeah,
the towers,
Brian
we got
says he
the
can't wait for the
masks, we
SNL.
made the
Dude, heard
ventilators,
that.
we made ventilators, and
Ooh,
now we're
let me
weeks away
bring
from
myself
a
back
vaccine.
in.
We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying. when
Yes,
they
you
get
did,
sick.
Ashley. You
Far
called it
fewer
the
people are
supersized
dying.
edition of
We've done a
Stuck.
great job.
Yes,
the
you
only
did.
thing I haven't done a good job, and that's because of
Hey,
the
Ashley.
fake news. No matter what you say to them, they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good press. They give me bad press because that's the way it is,
100%
unfortunately.
factual.
Let me just tell you something. I don't care.
Bad
I've gotten
press
used
is
to it.
better than no
but I'll
press.
tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job that we did. You don't have it in your blood. You could have never done that job.
I know how to do the job. I know how to get the job.
I could do the job. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't.
H1N1. You were a
I can do
disaster. Your own
anything
chief
better
executive
than
said
you.
you were a
Kevin says
disaster.
laughing is incredibly bad during this moment in time. I mean, for us, it's funny. For them, it's definitely bad.
You made a point. Let him answer.
And there was no one.
Oh, yeah. Happy
we didn't
belated
shut down the
birthday,
economy.
Panjo.
This is his
Thank you, sir.
economy that's being he's shut down. The reason it's shut
Feliz
down is because
cumpleaños.
look,
What?
you folks at
Mazel.
home. how
Well,
many
no.
of us
What was the
know
reason it shut down,
an
Joe?
empty chair at the kitchen table?
Of course he
because someone
didn't.
died of COVID.
Man.
How many of you were in a situation where you lost your mom or dad and you couldn't even speak to them? You had a nurse holding a phone up.
There
so
were
you
supposed to
could,
be
in fact,
2 million. It's only 200,000.
Far
That is-
more people.
And,
You would have been
and by the way,
months late.
your own,
You were
his
months behind me,
his
Joe.
own CDC director says we could lose as many as another 200,000 people between now and the end of the year.
What
And he
about
held me said,
H1N1,
if we just
like you
wear
just
a
said?
mask, we can save
don't worry
half
about that.
those numbers. Just a
Different.
mask. And by the way, in terms of the whole notion of a vaccine, we're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all, nor do you. I know you don't. What we trust is a scientist.
Oh, now it's funny. Now the people who believe in vaccines won't trust vaccines because it comes from Trump.
Questions
yeah, that was
about
a-
the
that was-
future, because you both have touched on one of the two of the
You could have put it
questions.
Oh, man. Thank you for those tuning in. Welcome to the Stuck in the Middle first presidential debates. This is probably the only one that we'll be doing. Eli will be here in just a little bit. Brock could not make it tonight. Yeah, thanks. Chime in the chat. How y'all doing?
The birthday was wonderful. Thank
before
you.
the vaccine
Lots
would
of
become
masturbation.
generally available to the public. You said that he was confused and mistaken. Those were your two words.
Yeah.
But Dr. Slawi, the head of your Operation Warp
It's
Speed,
Fauci.
has said
No, I'm
exactly
joking.
the same thing. Are they both wrong?
Well, I've spoken to the companies, and we can have it a lot sooner. It's a very political thing because
course
people
you
like
did.
this would rather make it political than save lives. It is a very political thing. I've spoken to Pfizer. I've spoken
I mean-
to all of the people that you have to
I
speak to.
can't
We have
disagree
great
there. This shit got
Moderna,
politicized
Johnson
by
and
both
others.
sides.
They can go faster than that by a lot. Become very political because the left, or I don't know if I
So
call them
you're
left, I don't know
suggesting
what I
that the
call them.
head of your Operation Warp Speed, Dr. Slawi?
I disagree with him. Yeah, no, I disagree with both of them. And he didn't say that. He said it could be there, but it could also be much sooner. I had him in my office 2 days ago.
He talked about the summer, sir, before
Trump's all
generally
hopped up
available,
on his
just like
He said
not
there's a
drugs.
possibility that we'll have the answer
Think Adderall?
before November 1st. It
You know,
could
he
also
says he
be
doesn't
with
do
that.
drugs, right?
Well, we're
And
gonna
like,
deliver
you know,
right
that's
away.
what
We
people
have the
say who
military
take
all set up
prescription drugs.
logistically. They're all set up.
So, like,
We have our
maybe-
military that delivers
maybe even
soldiers,
some type
and they
of
can do
old school
200,000 a
speed.
day.
He's
They're
an old
going
school
to be
guy.
delivering.
Didn't he- was he
It's all
prescribed?
set up.
By
no.
Easter,
By
this would
Dr.
be gone
New York?
away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone. Miraculous, like a miracle. And by the way, maybe you could
miracle.
inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. This is the
That
same
was
man.
said sarcastically,
was
you
him.
know that.
I-
That was said
And
sarcastically.
so here's the deal.
What's the deal,
This
Joe?
man is talking about the vaccine.
I love when Joe
Every
starts his
serious-
sentence and then kind of
every
does that.
serious company is
Okay,
talking about
okay, listen,
maybe
here's the
having
deal.
the vaccine
tries to
done
sum it
by
all up.
the year, but the distribution
He
of that
tries to sound like he's
vaccine
breaking
might
down the
occur
brass
sometime beginning
brass
or
tacks.
middle
Okay,
of
you
next
know what?
year.
Here's the
But
deal.
now,
Here's let me
we get the
let me tell you
vaccine.
what's
And
what.
Pray God we will. Pray God we will.
Mr. Vice President,
Pray
I wanna
God
pick
we
up
will,
on-
Joe.
I want to pick up on this question, though. You say the public can trust the science.
How y'all doing again? Thanks for tuning in.
Trump. In fact, you said that again tonight.
First debates
Your
here.
running mate, Senator Harris, goes further.
Hopefully we
saying
don't
that
get
public
kicked.
Health experts, quote, will be muzzled.
You haven't
will
by
be
now. I think you're
suppressed.
good.
Given the fact that polls already show
Knock on
that
wood.
people are concerned about the vaccine and are reluctant to take it, are you and your running mate, Senator Harris, contributing to that fear?
No more than the question you just asked him.
I
He put
like
it
that
out.
question, Chris.
He puts pressure and disagrees with his
Okay,
own scientists.
true,
But you're
true.
saying
Joe,
that
that's a good
Senator
point.
Harris
That's a
says
good
you don't
point.
Trust the
No,
scientists.
well, no. You
That's a
can't
good
trust
point
the
by Joe.
scientists. She didn't say that. You can't trust
She
the-
said the public health
Did say
experts,
that.
quote, will be muzzled.
But are you guys saying the vaccine is wrong just out of spite then? Is that what he's
There's
implying?
Millions of scientists. There's thousands of scientists out there, like here at this great hospital, that don't work for him. Their job doesn't depend on him. That's not. They're the people. And by
I
the way,
spoke to the
and Fauci,
scientists that are in
and
charge.
by the way,
They will have
and
the vaccine
I
very
spoke
soon.
to all the scientists.
you
They're good.
believe for a moment what he's telling you in light of all the lies he's told you about
I don't like
the
that.
whole
No.
issue
I don't
relating to
like
COVID.
that way
He
to
still
dispel a
hasn't even
vaccine.
acknowledged
Yeah.
that he knew this was happening.
What
knew
does
how dangerous
any
it
of
would
that
be.
have to do?
Back in
Eli Channel says
February,
he's on his way. What does any of that have to
didn't
do
tell
with?
you. He's on record.
What the
as saying
it's fucking.
He panicked, or he just looked at the stock market. One of the two. Because guess what? A lot of people died, and a lot more are going to die.
And 2 million were supposed to die, Joe.
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years you've done nothing.
Let's have this debate.
And if you
We'll
would
see
have
who's-
had, let me just
Oh,
say
he's
something.
getting. Oh man, that was fucking.
The charge of what I was put through. I had to close the greatest economy in the history of our country. And by the way, now it's being built again.
see,
and it's
We're going to
going
get
up
to the
fast.
economy in the next segment, sir.
Okay.
It's going up fast.
He liked that. He liked that. He's like, that shit's good.
You wanted to say something.
Dude, that's gonna be a fucking gif. That point, that's gif. Someone gif it.
Virus is handled going forward.
Someone gif
by
it.
Whichever of you ends up becoming the next president. I want to quickly go through several of those. Reopenings.
I want to quickly
Vice
go
President
through
Biden,
several
you
of
have been much
those.
more reluctant than President Trump about reopening the economy and schools. Why, sir?
Cool.
Because he doesn't have a plan. If I were running, I know what the plan is. You've got to provide these businesses the ability to have the money to be able to reopen with the PPE.
Fuck yeah,
as well
please.
as with the sanitation
Please.
they need. You have to
Tell
provide
that
them
to Nancy
plastic.
Pelosi.
Man.
He's just shush for a minute.
Tell it to Nancy Pelosi. And
And
Schumer,
by the
Brian
way,
Chuck.
Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, they have a plan.
Yeah,
He won't even
sure.
meet with them. The Republicans won't meet with him in the
Okay.
Senate. And he sits on his golf course. And, well, I mean, literally, think about it.
You probably play
think
more than
about
I
it.
do, Joe.
What about this question of reopening?
I'm so tired of Joe's laughs. That that's his tell. That's when Trump says something that gets him,
Yeah.
he'll laugh it off.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Always
Let me shut
raised.
you
That's
down
his
for a
poker
second,
face.
Joe,
Yeah.
Just for 1 second. We want to shut down the country. We just went through it. We had to because we didn't know anything about the disease. Now we found that elderly people with heart problems,
Drew,
and
yeah.
diabetes, and different problems
Chris
are
Wallace sounds
very,
funny.
very vulnerable. We learned a lot. Young children aren't. Even younger people aren't. We've learned a lot. But he wants to shut it down. More people will be hurt by continuing. If you look at Pennsylvania, if you look at certain
What we
states
need,
that have
though,
been
is for
shut
the
down,
Senate and the
Democrat
House to
governors
stop
all,
fucking around and get the American people some stimulus money. Every other good fucking country did it. They invested in their people, knowing it would pay out in the long run and not just let them fucking all fend for themselves.
Respond to that.
President
shut down
Trump,
the
you
whole
have
country?
begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease.
Of course, the
preventer.
effectiveness
And in fact,
of
recently you have
masks.
cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching
Masks.
plates. Are you questioning?
No, I think
Questioning?
masks
Are you,
something- I
questioning?
understand. If you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put
Oh
the mask
shit!
on
Big
when I
big
think
boy
I need it.
flex.
Tonight, as an example, everybody.
I have many masks. Look, I have another one right here. He pulls one out of his like other pocket. I have backup masks. I have backup to the backup mask. I'm just full of masks.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking.
What?
200 feet away from it, he shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say this.
Fuck.
Joe likes
So
that one.
I would have won $200
The way to
if
open businesses
Donald
Yes.
Trump would have
is
put
give
that
them the
mask
wherewithal
on.
to be able to open.
Fuck.
We provided money. The
But
Congress.
I was asking you, sir, about masks.
Well,
I definitely agree. The stimulus needs to go to the people, not necessarily the corporations, for sure. That do you know most of those corporations just got that stimulus money without having to apply for it? They just like they didn't have to. Boom, right to them. Fucking
no
A.
serious person said the opposite.
No,
Same thing with banks.
Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the
He did
opposite.
not
I want
say
to
the
ask you, we got a
Said
little
very
bit more than a
strongly,
minute left in this
masks
segment.
are not
got a
good.
bit left
Then
in
he
us,
changed
talk
his
about-
mind. He said masks good.
I
I'm
wanna
okay with masks.
I
I'm
want to
not
ask you
fighting
both about
masks.
one last subject because your different approaches has even affected the way that you have campaigned. President Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of
Fucking
people.
guy.
Outside, yes, sir, agreed.
Outside.
Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events.
Yeah,
which
Trump's
nobody will
rallies
show
have been
up.
fucking
People with-
crushing Biden's rallies.
Nobody
Let's
shows
be
up.
real.
All right. In any case, why you holding
Very
the big
big
rallies?
league. Well, let's
Why
also
you not? You go
enjoy
first,
the
sir.
partial silence
people
that we
wanna
have,
hear what I have to say.
because when Eli gets here, he's
But
probably
you're
got
not
job as a
spreading
president,
a
and
bunch of
about
stories to tell us.
35,000 people show up.
I'm
at
just
airports.
joking.
We use airports.
Are you not worried about
we
the
have a
disease
lot of
issue,
people.
sir?
We have a
so
lot of
far,
people.
We have had no problem
Lot of
whatsoever.
people.
It's outside. That's a big difference, according to the experts. and we do them outside. We have tremendous crowds, as you see. I mean, and literally on 24 hours notice. And Joe does the circles and has 3 people someplace.
Okay. By the way, did you see one of the last big rallies he had? And a reporter came up to him to ask him a question. He said, no, stand back. Put on your mask. Put on a mask. Have you been tested? I'm way far away from those other people.
Okay.
That's what he said. I can't. I'm going to be okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no negative effect. No negative effect. We've had no negative effect, and we've had 35, 40,000 people.
Okay, boys. Maybe next question. I think we tuckered out of this one.
He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encourage them not to.
He's a break.
He's a fool on this.
Right.
If you could get
He doesn't get a
crowds,
break.
You would have done the same thing, but you can't. Nobody cares.
They're not doing half an
Nobody
hour.
cares.
Gentlemen,
No, I don't think so.
The economy.
Yes.
The economy.
The
I
economy.
think it's fair to say recovering faster than expected from the shutdown.
What's up, Panda? Welcome back. And welcome to any new viewers. What's up? We're just sitting here hanging out live streaming for the first presidential debates of 2020. Could be the end of the world. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. Friend of the show, Panjo's hanging out. Brock Rowe could not make it tonight. Eli will be on his way. Josh and Adam hanging out. What's up, guys?
Vice President Biden, you say it's more of a K-shape. What
K-shape
does that mean to the American people in terms of the economy? President Trump, in this segment, you go first.
So we built the greatest economy in history. We closed it down because of the China plague.
A lot of people say they were doing really good before COVID hit.
It was very hard.
I know some people are doing better
He didn't think we should close
right now.
it down, and he was wrong.
Well, it depends on what
Again,
business
2
you're in.
million people would be dead now instead of still 204,000 people is too much. One person is too much. Should have never happened from China. But what happened is we closed it down, and now we're reopening, and we're doing record business. We had 10.4 million people in a 4-month period that we've put back into the workforce. That's a record the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And he wants to close down he will shut it down again.
That's what
he will destroy this country. You know, a lot of people between drugs and alcohol.
Him shutting down the economy and not like
states where they have
I don't know if he has the authority to put some sort of executive order through to make sure the American people get stimulus, but it's not just Biden, dude. It's the Republicans too. You guys are the stupid fucking stalemates that happen, and I got to put some of mine in there while you put some of yours. It's
those little hidden little gems.
They can wear masks. They can do whatever they want, but they got to open these states up. When you look at,
I don't know if it's too fast, Drew, but I respect you feel that way.
Pennsylvania, Michigan, and a couple of others. You got to open these states up. It's not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison. And
I do like the way Trump did it. He left it up to the states to make like these federal nationwide laws, rules. It's unfair for states who are not that affected by it, or and so on.
I see Drew said something about
shut it down.
We're going fast.
He said we are reopening too fast, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
As I said, posing the question, the president says it's a V-shaped recovery. You say it's a K-shape.
I think we are opening fast enough, but people, as they do, they're rebounding too quick. They're abusing. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. The bars were packed. We reopened and the bars were packed. Like, that's not, I think with where the numbers are, where the cases are, everything else, we should not be closed. So I think we reopened right, but I think people, by no fault of their own, just, they're kind of rebounding from completely being locked in. Yeah.
Wait, no, sir, it's just, I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it.
Do I get my time back? The fact is that he has, in fact, worked on this in a way that he's going to be the first president of the United States to leave office having fewer jobs in his administration than when he became president. Fewer jobs than when he became president. First one in American history. Secondly, the people who have lost their jobs are those people who have been on the front lines, those people who have been saving our lives, those people who have been out there dying, people who've been putting themselves in the way to make sure that we could all try to make it. And the idea that he is insisting that we go forward and open when you have almost half the states in America with a significant increase.
So Biden is definitely against
in the United
opening.
States of America. and he wants to open it up more.
Is that
Why
what
does he
you're
want
getting
to
from
open
this?
it up?
That's
Why
what he's
doesn't he
saying.
take care of the American. You
No, I
can't
think
fix the economy until you fix the COVID crisis, and he has
what
no
he's saying.
intention of doing anything about making it better for you all at home.
I think
He's
that-
literally making a vaccine. He's saying he's making a vaccine. Biden's saying he's not trying to do anything better while he's making a vaccine. Yet in the same breath, Biden says, "Don't trust that vaccine." Like what I mean, it's just they all talk bullshit.
Because it's not a national emergency. Not a national emergency. They've done nothing to help.
I think he's
small
just
businesses.
criticizing everything that
Nothing.
Trump's
They're
done.
closing.
I
1 in
definitely
6
heard
is
it
now
differently.
gone. He ought to get on the job and take care of the needs of the American people so we can open safely.
All right, your time is up, sir. We are going to get to.
I have to respond to that.
Well, you both had 2 minutes, sir.
Eli,
He made a statement.
So did you.
People want their schools. No, people want their schools open. They don't want to be shut down. They
No.
don't want their state shut down. They want their restaurants. I look at New York. It's so sad
What's
happening
up, bro?
in New York. It's almost like a
I'm
ghost
so
town.
fucking-
And I'm not sure it
I
can
wanna
ever
know what I've
recover
missed.
what they've
you've
done
missed
in
a
New
lot
York.
of good stuff,
People
but we're
want
just
their
hanging out.
places
You know,
open. They wanna
welcome
get back
for
to
those
their
just tuning in.
life. They wanna
Eli's
get
here. We're
safe.
hanging out.
They
It's
want
not
their
really a
schools
show. We're just
open.
kind of live streaming, watch this as it goes, and yeah, hang out with us.
Totally rushed for this.
It was me, and
getting the
I'm
chat.
very happy to do it. And
All right,
people of
let's-
Ohio are very proud.
Biden's
of me.
been doing some
And
tells.
when he took a
Gentlemen,
phony
we're going to
ad.
get to
It's
your
been
economic
pretty much like a
plans
high
going
school,
forward
like
in a moment.
yeah, nuh-uh.
Do we
As you
get
well know,
a
there's
commercial
new
breaks on
report
this?
No.
that In
Oh, shit,
2016, the year you were elected president, and 2017, your first year as president, that you paid
As president.
$750
taxes.
a year
Did we
in
get a
federal income
cut off
tax
at all?
each of those years. I know that you pay a lot of other taxes, but I'm
solid.
asking you the specific question. Is it true that you paid $750
Ooh,
in
good.
Nope.
federal income
Let's see.
taxes?
That was
each
a
of those 2
liability,
years?
bro.
I paid
People don't.
millions of
Let's see what he
dollars
says in
in
his own
tax.
words.
He paid
Millions
5.2
of
million.
dollars of income tax. And let me just tell you, there was a story in one of the papers.
Show us your tax
I paid
returns.
$38 million one year. I paid $27 million
Show us your tax
one year.
returns.
I went. You'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it. You know, if you want to
been
do.
saying that for a
go
long
He's
to the
under
Board of
audit for
Elections.
$72 million
There's a
refund.
118-page or so report that says everything I have, every bank I have, I'm totally under leveraged because the assets are extremely good.
Do you know what a tax
And we have
liability
a
is? It's like he essentially he overpaid.
But let me tell
In
you
that
something.
same article, it said he paid $5.2 million. If they had really something substantial, they would lead with it. They kind of led with something more salacious. Like
I know.
Income
I read
taxes
it.
in 2016 and 2017.
Millions of dollars.
5.2 million.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to
When?
see it. But let
Yeah,
me just
when?
tell you, Chris, let me just tell you something. That it was the tax laws. I don't want to pay tax.
That's
Before
another
I
thing.
came
All
in,
the
I was
He's
a
being
private
honest
developer. I
about
was a private
taxing
business people.
right now.
Like every other private
hear him.
person,
I'm not an
unless they're
accountant.
stupid,
I gotta
they
hear
go through
his-
the laws, and that's what it is. He passed a tax bill that gave us all these privileges for
Yep.
depreciation. And
Perfect
for,
point.
Tax credits. We built the
47
building,
years.
We get tax credits like the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue.
when
get
you
an asset,
report more
which, by the
losses
way,
than your
was given to
than
me
like
by
your
the
profits,
Obama
like you're
administration,
essentially
if you can
paying
believe
less.
that.
Like if you
Now,
know
the man
like
got fired right after
be
that.
mad at the system. Don't be mad at the guy who
Yeah, I do want to
uses it.
respond. Look, the tax code that made him, put him in a position that he pays less tax than a school teacher on the money a school teacher makes
I got a
is
great-
because of him he says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code. And he does take advantage of the tax code. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. And I'm going to eliminate those tax
Okay.
cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who,
Very
in fact,
interesting.
need the help.
So fascinating to
People
hear
out
this.
there need help.
But why didn't you
Ask
do it
him-
over the last 25 years?
Because you were
Why didn't
president.
And
do it
like they've
over
been
you?
talking over each other like worse than we do.
You were a senator, and
You're the
for
worst
Let's see.
president America
What's up,
has
guys in the
ever
chat?
had.
Hey,
Welcome.
Joe, let me just tell you, Joe. I've done more in 47 months. I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe. We've done things that you never even thought of doing,
Okay.
including
Gentlemen.
fixing the broken military that you gave me.
He hasn't been in office for 57 months, so that's kind of funny. Or 47. Wait, 48 would be 4 years. So oh, you know what? He did. That's a beautiful fuck.
If you
Wow.
were to be
landed
elected
it.
president,
Damn.
focuses a lot on
You know,
the
he
government,
didn't come
big
out-
taxes,
come out with that.
big spending.
No,
I
of
wanna
course
focus
not.
First
I
on
think
the
the moderator
taxes.
gets nervous when they
You
have eye
propose
contact.
more than $4 trillion
The moderator,
over a decade
Christopher
in
Wallace, does
taxes
not like
on
Trump.
Individuals making more than $400,000 a year and on corporations. President Trump says that kind of an increase in taxes is going to hurt the economy as it's just coming out of a recession.
Well, just take a look at what the analysis done by Wall Street firms. Points out that my economic plan would create 7 million more jobs than his in 4 years, number one. And number two,
come on, Biden, you recited this in the bathroom like 57 times.
In economic growth, because it would be about buying American. That we have to, we're going to make this federal government spend $600 billion.
That's literally what Trump's doing. Buying American has been Trump's idea like this whole time.
Yes. We're going to make sure that every penny of that has to be made by a company.
But respectfully, sir, I'm talking about
Trump's
taxes,
doing.
not spending.
Well, by the way, I'm going to eliminate a significant number of the tax. I'm going to make the corporate tax 28%. It shouldn't be 21%. You have 91 companies, in the Fortune 500 who don't pay a single tax, making
his Red Bull's wearing off.
Billions of dollars.
From Kevin.
Fuck them both, Panda. 2020. I mean, don't fuck them both, comma, Panda. Fuck them both, 2020 by Panda.
Economy boomed like it's never boomed.
The economy is
Mr.
busted.
President,
I like boom.
Mr. President, let me pick up on that.
There you go. I want to hear this.
Continue your free market approach, lower taxes, more deregulation, correct?
Deregulation, correct?
But in Obama's, you talk about the economy booming, it turns out that in Obama's final 3 years as president, more jobs were created, 1.5 million more jobs than in the first 3 years of your presidency.
They had the slowest recovery since economic recovery since 1929. It was the slowest recovery. Also, they took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights and you pick up a lot. But they had the slowest economic recovery since 1929. Let me tell you about the stock market.
Comparison,
when the stock market goes up, that means jobs. It also means 401ks. If you got in, if you ever became president with your ideas, you want to terminate my taxes, I'll tell you what, you'll lose half of the companies that have poured in here will leave, and plenty of companies that are already here, they'll leave for other places.
Yep, that's what essentially happened before Trump got in office. Was most of the companies were going out of America.
The worst recession short of a depression in American history. I was asked to bring it back. We were able to have an economic recovery that created the jobs you're talking about. We handed him a booming economy. He blew it.
It wasn't
booming. He blew it.
It wasn't booming. It was the weakest recovery since 1929.
Is it fair to say he blew it when fact there was record low unemployment before COVID?
Yeah, but because what he did even before COVID.
I mean, yeah, that's a great point. Thank you, Chris.
Manufacturing went in a hole.
Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Longtime friend, bro. Back in the day, middle school, elementary school, even. Biden's Alzheimer's medicine is wearing off. It goddamn is.
It was a miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000 jobs. They brought back nothing. They gave up on manufacturing. Part of my standard fare.
I'm the guy that brought back the automobile industry.
All right, let him.
We brought back. I was asked to bring back Chrysler and General Motors. We brought them back right here in the state of Ohio and Michigan. He blew it. They're gone. He blew it.
And what's up, buddy?
Ohio had the best year it's ever had last year. Michigan had the best year they've ever had.
That is not
Many
true.
car companies came in from Germany, from Japan, went to Michigan.
I would like for Trump to also state why they had the best year.
That's what I'm waiting for. Absolutely.
And so you take a look at what he's actually done. He's done very little. His trade deals are the same way. He talks about
trade things. His trade deals with China were fucking amazing.
China's perfected the art of the steal. We have a high deficit with China.
That is a zinger.
Before.
Ding, 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 ding.
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch. That 18%. China ate your lunch, Joe.
Everybody take a shot when he says China.
Okay. He takes out billions of dollars. Takes out billions of dollars to manage. He makes millions of dollars. And also, while we're at it,
here comes China.
Just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million.
I knew he was going to bring it up.
What did he do to deserve it? What did he do with Burisma to deserve $183,000?
Okay, nitty gritty.
None of that is true.
Oh, really?
Totally,
Brandon, that is in fact factual.
President, please.
Totally discredited.
Thank you for guys tuning in. Stuck in the middle. First presidential debates.
Share this show.
Mr. Vice,
tag your friends. Have a party.
Yes, I totally forgot. If you're enjoying it, please share. Hashtag share Stuck Live. Share the show. Oh, that's almost a tongue twister. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us.
Discredited.
Did Burisma pay him $183,000 a month? with no experience in energy?
Mr. President,
no
my son did nothing wrong.
Oh,
Emperor
boy.
I think he did.
Oh boy, we're gonna get into some Hunter Biden maybe next week, but I don't know about all that.
His position has been totally
3.5 million from Russia from what's her face over a course of a few
Reverse collusion.
yeah.
by everyone has discredited. Matter of fact,
Everybody?
even the
Can
people
you?
who testified under oath.
So let me ask you this, Joe.
Go ahead, Mr.
First of all, just say, please stop.
You got $3.5 million from Moscow.
Biden earlier said, "Man, come on, man, would you shut up or something like that?"
You
also said, "Shush, man."
I don't even know who they are.
I'll give you
Malarkey.
the list of the people who testified.
No, go ahead, sir.
Sure, you've already fired most of them because they did a good job.
Some people don't do a good
here's
job. With you,
Go
they
ahead.
say,
You got
"Here's
the,
the
wait a minute. You get the final word.
Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown.
Oh,
Let me
boy.
just tell you,
Oh,
Wait. I want to hear this thing about it.
$3.5 million, Joe.
That is simply
Why did
not
he
true.
deserve $3.5 million from Moscow?
Look,
Yeah, right.
Here's the deal.
Can you answer
We want
that?
to talk about.
he doesn't. They
families
don't.
and
They
ethnics.
had a
pivot.
few.
I
He
don't wanna do
did.
that.
He's done this a
I mean,
few
his family
times.
It's a
we could talk
ballerina
about
dance.
all night. His family's
My
already
family,
No, let him go.
Okay.
my family
Already
lost
wrote.
a fortune by coming down and helping
Go
us
ahead.
with
Go ahead,
government.
sir.
And that's such a
they're right here.
Mr.
That's such
Every
a great.
single one of them lost
This
a
is not
fortune.
about.
I'm
That's
so
how our
hyped
show
for
sounds like
It's about
sometime.
your
I know,
family.
bro. I wonder how many people are watching.
That's not
Just
true.
in
It
general.
doesn't want to talk about what you need. You, the American people. It's about you.
Oh, he's getting all personal
That's
like
what
I
we're
do.
talking about
You
here.
should
All right,
take
that's
Not
the, end
about
of
here.
that's the end of the segment.
take
We're moving on.
It didn't
That's the end of the segment.
No.
Can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
The answer
Oh,
to the
America.
question is no.
Ukraine.
No.
No, sir.
With
Sir?
$1 billion, if you
That
get rid of
is
the
absolutely
you know what, you're-
not
Stop.
true.
You're going to have
True.
gentlemen.
Yes.
Sullivan.
I-
Dude, speak from your frog throat better, Christopher
Why
Wallace.
should I be different than the two of you? So here's the
Got a
deal.
good point.
We have 6 segments. We have ended that
Six.
segment. We're going to go to the next segment.
Benson Robert Bronson just subscribed to us. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
In those 2 uninterrupted minutes, Mr. President, you can say anything you want.
Sir,
I'm going to ask a question about race, but if you want
so
to
much
answer
better on
about something
Rogan.
else, go ahead. But I think that the
This would have been
country
way
would
better
be
on
better
Joe Rogan.
served
Oh, yeah,
if
for
we
sure.
allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to
Good
you, sir, to
luck.
do that.
Yeah.
And him too.
Well,
Bab,
you've been
bab,
doing
bab,
more
bab.
interruptions.
Trump had to make sure he was included.
Well,
He
less
does it
than-
too.
Sir, less
No,
than-
he does it.
No, less than you have.
This is very
please continue
presidential.
on.
Less than you have.
The issue
Ooh,
of
Chris.
race. Vice President Biden, you say that President Trump's response to the violence in Charlottesville 3 years ago, when he talked about very fine people on both sides,
Oh, God,
was
yes.
what directly led
Love
you
this so much.
to launch this run for president.
What?
President Trump, you have often said that you believe you have done more for black Americans than any president, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. My question for the two of you is, why should voters trust you rather than your opponent to deal with the race issues facing this country over the next 4 years?
Yeah.
Vice President Biden, you go first.
That's a good one.
It's about equity. And
This is a
equality.
good one.
It's about decency. It's about the Constitution. And we have never walked away from trying to require equity for everyone, equality for the whole of America. But we've never accomplished it. But we've never walked away from it like he has done. It is
Yes.
true. The reason I got in the race is when those people, close your eyes, remember what those people look like coming out of the fields carrying torches, their veins bulging.
Oh, those veins.
Spewing, and just
Spewing.
anti-Semitic bile, and accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan. A young woman got killed.
By the way, Ku Klux Klan is now a terrorist organization.
Fine.
I hope he brings that up.
No
He will.
president has ever said anything like that.
Finish the statement.
It is his
Yeah, finish the statement, though.
Second point I'd make to you is that when Floyd was killed, when Mr. Floyd was killed, there was a
Kevin,
peaceful
yes, speak
protest in
deeper
front of
from
the
your
White
frog
House.
throat. Yes.
What did he do? He came out of his bunker, had the
Oh, yeah,
military
that's right.
use tear gas on him so he could walk across to a church and hold up a Bible.
Upside down.
And then what happened after that? The bishop of that very church said that it was a disgrace. The general who was with him said all he ever wants
Thank
to
you
do
for
is
guys
divide
tuning in.
people, not
If you
unite
like what
people at
you're
all.
hanging out with
This is
us
a
and like what
president
you're
who has
listening to,
used
please share the
everything as a
episode. We
dog
appreciate it.
whistle to try to generate racist hatred, racist division. This is a man who, in fact, you talk about helping African Americans. 1 in 1,000 African Americans has been killed because of the coronavirus.
What?
And if he doesn't do
He's
something
gonna-
quickly, by the end of the year, 1 in 500 will have been killed. 1 in 500 African Americans.
Is that?
This man?
I don't understand. Did he just make the coronavirus racist?
Of African Americans.
I think he
this
did.
man cares at all.
Wow. No, I mean, I'm not
This
mad. I'm
man's done
impressed.
Virtually nothing. Look, the fact is that you have to look at what he talks about.
Yeah, I know, Brian.
You
He was
have
saying
to
some
look
shit
at
about
what
the
he did.
KKK,
And
but what did
has
Trump
been
do for the
disastrous
KKK?
for
Made
African
Antifa and the
American community.
KKK a terrorist organization.
President Trump, you have 2 minutes. Why should Americans?
I like when
trust you
President Trump
over
puckers
your
his lips and it
opponent
looks
to
like
deal
a
with racism?
butthole.
Crime
It
bill,
looks just like a butthole.
1994.
It's funny.
Where
Kiss
you
it.
call them super predators, African
Oh,
Americans
yeah.
super predators, and they've
Oh,
never forgotten it.
man.
They've never forgotten it.
Well
Jeff.
done.
No, sir, it's his 2 minutes.
So you did that, and they call you super predator, and I'm letting people out of jail now.
No,
that
no,
you have
he calls
treated
them
the
super predator.
African American population community. You have treated the black community about as bad as anybody in this country.
Truth.
You did the 1990, and that's why if you look at the polls,
1994
I'm doing better
crime
than
bill,
any
he forgot
Republican
it.
has done in a long time because they saw what you did. You call them super predators, and you've called them worse than that. Because you look back
In the
at your
70s.
testimony over the years, you've called them a lot worse than that. As far as the church is concerned,
He's running in
and as far
circles
as
a
the
little
generals
bit.
are concerned, we just got the support of 250 military leaders and generals.
That's
Total support.
nothing to do with
law enforcement.
black-
Almost
black
every
community.
law enforcement
That's a pivot.
group in the United States.
Joe,
I have
look, Joe,
Florida, I
Kevin,
have
that's one of
Texas,
Joe's tells.
I
Like
have
when Joe looks
Ohio,
down and looks
I have
away,
every-
and when then he
excuse me,
does that
Portland,
coy
the
laugh,
sheriff
like
just
those
came
are
out
tells
today
that
and he said, "I
it
support
got to him, or
President
what
Trump."
Trump's saying
I
is
don't
true.
think you have any law enforcement. You can't even say the word law enforcement because if you say those words,
You'll
you're gonna
lose your
all
vote.
of your radical left supporters. And why aren't you
Jinx,
saying those
Trump, you owe
words,
me a
Joe?
Coke.
Why don't you say the words law enforcement? Because you know what? If they called us in Portland, we would put out that fire in a half an hour, but they won't do it because they're run by radical left Democrats. If you look at Chicago,
Joe
if you
Biden does
look
the
at
same
any
moves every
place
few
you wanna
seconds. He
look,
looks
Seattle,
down,
they
both
heard
have
he'll
their
look
own
up,
little
he'll
monikers.
kind of lean
Put up
towards
their
him,
hands
and he'll
we
walk
got
back down and look
Seattle.
like
Minneapolis, we got it back, Joe, because we believe in law and order. But
Like
you
he
don't.
catches-
The
he
top
gets
10
Trump's
cities
attention
and
for a
just about
second.
The top 40 cities are run by Democrats and in many cases radical left, and they've got you wrapped around their
And
finger,
kinda look
Joe,
his way.
to a point where you don't want to say anything about law and order. And I'll tell you what, the people of this country want
And then look back
demand
down.
law
Ready?
and
There it
order,
is.
and
Now he's
you're
gonna look
afraid
back
to
down
even say
again.
it.
All right.
Up.
I
Nope.
want to return to the question of race.
Almost.
Vice President Biden, after the grand jury in the Breonna Taylor case,
Trump did go
We were
in.
just talking
not
about
to
this on the
charge
show.
any of the police
Biden can never do what Trump
with
just did.
homicide. You said it raises the question, quote, whether
Kevin says he
justice
thinks
could be
Trump's
equally
Adderall is time
applied
release.
in America. Do you believe
All right, this is
that
an
there
important
is a
one.
separate
I'll stop
but
talking.
unequal system of justice for blacks in this country?
Yes, there is. There's systemic injustice in this country.
A 1994 crime bill.
In law enforcement and the
Racial
way in
jungle.
which it's enforced. But look, the vast majority of police officers are good, decent, honorable men and women.
Whoa.
They risk their lives
Finally.
every day to take care of us. But there are some bad apples. And when they occur, when they find them, they have to be sorted out. They have to be held accountable. They have to be held accountable.
Okay,
and
yeah.
what I'm going to
Didn't
do as
Trump
President of the
call
United
some-
States is call
they're not all good, but there's some
together
good people.
an
They got
entire
mad at
group
It's
of
exactly
people
the same
at the
thing.
White House.
Same thing.
Everything from the civil rights groups to the police officers, the police chiefs, and we're going to work this out. We're going to work this out so we change the way in which we have more transparency in when these things happen. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to George Floyd. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to
I am on
Breonna
Biden's
Taylor.
side with transparency with
Most
the
don't
law
like
enforcement.
it.
Yes.
But we have to have a system where people are held accountable. And by the way, violence in response is never appropriate. Never appropriate.
Oh, hey,
Peaceful
there's a new
protest
one.
is.
Yeah.
Violence is never appropriate.
Accountability
What is
from
peaceful
these two
protest?
people, this is
When they run
hilarious.
through the middle of the
President
town
Trump-
and burn down your
President Trump,
stores and kill people
President
all over
Trump,
the place.
that is
It's
not
not going to
peaceful
work, Wallace.
protest.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not,
asking-
but you say it is.
President Trump,
I think it looks bad for Trump. Every time he does this law, like he just like gets worked up and
in a moment.
interrupts Chris
throw-
Wallace.
Just
Your
throw some fucking blunt
administration,
objects in there.
directed
Let 'em
federal
have at it.
agencies to end racial sensitivity training that addresses white privilege or critical race theory.
Yeah, you know,
Why did you decide
you
to do that? To
throw
end
in the
racial
mix a
sensitivity
COVID-infected
training?
cat
And
in a box of
do you believe that
hydrochloroquine
there
and
is
let him
systemic
fight it out.
racism in
There
this
you go.
country, sir?
I ended it because it's racist. I ended it because a lot of people were complaining that they were asked to do things that were absolutely insane. that it was a radical
Give us
revolution
details.
that was taking place in our military, in our schools, all over the place, and you know it, and so does everybody else.
Trump, you gotta
And he
explain
would
a
know.
little bit
Oh, it's
better.
totally
about
racist.
racial sensitivity training.
If you were
Racial
a certain
sensitivity
person,
training.
you had
If you can
no
articulate
status
this.
in life. It was sort
Okay.
of a reversal. And if you look at the people, we were paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach very bad ideas and
I
frankly
think it's
very
too
sick
complicated
ideas.
for Trump to
and
explain.
and
Yeah.
really,
Yep.
they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to do that.
It's not
I'm not
gonna
going to
look
allow that
good,
to happen.
But I get it.
We have to go back to the core values of this country. They were teaching people that our country is a horrible place, it's a racist place, and they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to allow
Some
that
would
to
agree.
happen.
Vice President Biden?
Nobody's doing that. He's
What?
a racist.
You just don't know.
Here's the deal. I know a lot more about
You
this
don't
than he
know.
does.
Let him finish.
The fact is that there is
Children.
racial insensitivity. People have to be made aware of what other people feel like, what insults them, what is demeaning to them. It's important to people know they don't want to. Many people don't want to hurt other people's
This is
feelings.
the woke
but
appeal.
it makes a big difference. It makes a gigantic difference in the way a child is able to grow up and have a sense of self-esteem. It's a little bit like
Does it,
how
Joe?
this guy and his
I
friends
mixed a little
look
bit
down
of
on
my
so
stuff.
many people. They look down
The
their nose on people
suppository
like
Adderall
Irish
just kicked in
Catholics
a little
like me
bit.
and
Yes.
grew up in Scranton.
Kevin was
They look
saying,
down on people who
Trump's
don't
Adderall
have
was
money.
time
They look
release.
down on people who are.
I bet you they both got the same Adderall deal and they don't even know it.
Or a different color. In fact, we're all Americans. The only
Like they-
way we're going to bring this country together,
like they both
is
run into
bring
each other at
everybody together.
Tad's
There's nothing
house.
We cannot
Oh, for
do
sure.
if we do it together. We can take
Tad's
this
taking
on
his
and we can defeat
grandparents'
racism
Adderall.
in America.
President Trump, sir.
During the Obama-Biden administration, there was tremendous division. There was hatred. You look at
There was then, there is now.
Ferguson. You look at. You go to
Some would argue, and I would kind of be on that side, that a lot of that division occurred during that
It
administration.
was more violent than what I'm even seeing now.
Oh, my
But the
Lord.
reason
Really?
This
is
is
that
ridiculous.
the Democrats
I do
that
keep
run these
disappearing.
cities
Yes, I do,
don't
Pam.
wanna talk
For
like you
reason.
about law
I
and
shushed
order.
her.
And you still
Crime.
haven't
'Cause I hate
mentioned.
women.
Are you in favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you
it
in
and a little
favor
bit
of
of
law and order? Go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm
Follow a little bit of
in
order.
favor of
Let him finish.
law and order.
Loses
Law and
Let
order.
him- let him-
Law and order with
Lot of
justice,
fun.
where people
Somebody
get treated
resurrect their
fairly.
moms here.
And the fact of the matter is, violent crime went down
Kids.
17%, 15% in our administration.
All right.
It's gone up on his watch.
Went down much more in ours.
All right, we're down.
Much
you're-
more.
Mr. President, you're going
States of America.
We
Mr.
were
President,
breaking every record in the
Mr.
book.
President, you're going to be very happy because
And
we're now going to talk about law and order.
Oh, Chris Wallace.
cities
That's
and
exactly my question.
His
There
throat
has been
just
a dramatic
bulged.
increase
Yeah.
in
Oh,
homicides in
ribbit.
America.
That was him going
this summer
Velociraptor.
particularly, and you often blame that on Democratic mayors and Democratic governors, but in fact there have been equivalent spikes in Republican-led cities like Tulsa and Fort Worth. So the question is
me a
this
heads
really
up.
a party issue?
I think it's a party issue. You can bring in a couple of examples, but if you look at Chicago,
Just give me a
what's
heads
going
up
on in
before you do the
Chicago, where,
pass.
53 people were shot and 8 died shot. If you look at New York, where it's going up like nobody's ever seen anything. the numbers are
Drew
going up
disagrees with me. He
150,
thinks the
200%.
division went up under Trump. And
It's
Drew, my
crazy
friend,
what's
that's
going
where you and
on.
I will
And he doesn't wanna
respectfully
say law
agree
and
to
order because
disagree.
He can't, because he'll lose his radical left supporters. And once he does
I
that,
think
it's
the
over with.
division
But
has
if
amplified
he
under
ever
his
got
watch.
to run this country,
Amplified,
No,
not
no,
started.
yeah. I'm not. I just think it's been on the steady rise, and he in no way helped it.
Suburbs would be gone.
I don't necessarily think it
And you would see
amplified.
problems like you've
He
never
would
seen.
know a suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
So much
I was
better.
raised-
See, that's where I disagree with
raised in the
Biden. I definitely
suburbs.
think
This is not 1950.
Trump is
All
a little
these dog
more
whistles and racism don't work anymore.
people-ish than
Suburbs are
Biden
by
is.
and
They're both
large
fucking
anyway.
trust fund
Biden's
babies.
politician,
People
dude.
today driving
Fucking.
their kids to
They're both
soccer
trust
practice
fundies, man.
and or to
Yeah.
black and white and Hispanic in the same car as there have been any time in the
Let me
past.
name all
What
the
really is
races.
a threat to the suburbs and their safety is his
Safety.
failure to deal with COVID. They're dying in the suburbs.
Remember,
his
COVID
failure to
targets
deal with the environment.
people by
They're
race.
being flooded. They're being burned out because his refusal to do anything.
Flint,
That's
Michigan
why
still
the
has no
suburbs are
fucking
in
working
trouble.
I
water.
do want to talk
That's
about this
started
issue
under
of law and
Obama.
order, though. And in the joint recommendation that came from
I got a joint recommendation.
Bernie Sanders task force,
Sour
Bernie
D.
Sanders.
talked
Hold on,
about,
he said
quote,
my boo.
reimagining policing.
Reimagining policing.
First of all, what does reimagining policing
Explain
mean?
this one.
Do you support?
It means.
Let me, if I might finish the question.
Drew, honestly, I don't think we can really prove it. You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of perception. But if there's a way we can, I'd love to look into it.
Community control of policing.
All right,
Look,
I'm invested in
what
this.
I support is the police having the opportunity to deal with the problems they face. And I'm totally opposed to defunding the police officers. As a matter of fact, local police, the only one defunding in his budget calls for a $400 million cut in local law enforcement assistance. They need more assistance. They need, when they show up for a 9/11 call, to have someone with them as a psychologist or psychiatrist to keep them from having to use force and be able to talk people down. We have to have community policing like we had before, where the officers get to know the people in the communities. That's when crime went down. It didn't go up, it went down.
Ariel says, coming from the guy saying he didn't want his kids to grow up in the racial jungle.
Yes.
Oh, jinx.
That is not true.
So many
He doesn't have
cokes.
any law.
Yeah, I don't have that many. We don't have that many.
Law enforcement
That's not
support,
true.
Almost
That's
nothing.
not. Look.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one.
Hello
group
to all the new viewers.
Name one group that came out
Hanging
and
out
supported you.
for the
Go
live
ahead.
first presidential debates of 2020. Sure to be a doozy here. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoy, please share.
Enforcement group.
Welcome to an episode of Old Balls Z.
And we'll, this is not necessarily a show. Again, we're just streaming, hanging out.
Watch protests in many cities
Watch
that have
party.
turned violent. In Portland, Oregon, especially, we had more than
saw that?
100 straight days
Bad?
of protests, which I think you would agree. You talk about peaceful protests. Many of those turned into riots. Mr. Vice President,
It's just tobacco.
you say that people who commit crimes should be held accountable. The question I have, though, is, as the Democratic nominee, and earlier tonight you said that you are the Democratic Party right now, have you ever called
No,
the
he the
Democratic
fuck
mayor
is
of
not.
Portland
I mean,
or the
yeah, I guess
Democratic
fuck it.
governor of Oregon and said,
His voice
hey,
went
you gotta
vibrato.
stop this,
Right
bring in
now.
the National Guard, do whatever it takes, but you'd stop the days and months of violence in Portland.
You nervous,
I don't
Chris?
hold public office now. I am a former vice president. I've made it clear. I've made it clear in my public statements that the violence should
you've
be
run for
prosecuted.
president like 13
it should be
times.
prosecuted, and anyone who commits it
But
should
you've
be
never called
prosecuted.
for the people,
He's never
the leader. Excuse me, sir. You have never called for the leaders in Portland and in Oregon to call and bring in the National Guard and knock off 100 days of riots.
They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really? Yet the killer of the young man in the middle of the street, they shot him, and for 3 days,
President Trump,
Portland wouldn't do anything. I had to send in the U.S. Marshals. They took care of business.
Go ahead, sir.
Took
And by
care
the
of
way,
business.
You know, his own former spokesperson said, riots and chaos and violence help his cause. That's what this is all about.
I don't know who said that.
I do.
I do. Who?
Kellyanne Conway.
Kellyanne.
Yeah, Biden.
And so
Kevin
here's-
says Biden looks
but here's the
exhausted.
point. The point is that that's what he is, keeps trying to rile everything up. He doesn't want to calm things down. Instead of
gotta
going
disagree.
in and talking to people and
riles
saying,
things
let's
up,
get everybody
but he
together,
also sends
figure
the
out how to
solution.
deal with this.
Yeah.
Almost
What's
like
he
a
do?
snake eating his
He
dick.
just
I
pours
think like
gasoline
he's
in the
being
fire
sneaky because Trump's
constantly, at
solution
every single solid
is like,
job.
And to
when people don't
end
want to
this-
stop
not
and
this
you
segment,
send the
give you a
answer,
minute
they're
to
going to
answer, sir.
rile up
You
against
have
that answer. So like,
repeatedly
yeah, that's what they're
criticized
riling up
yourself.
against because they don't want to stop.
That's
You have
yeah.
refused-
It's a circle jerk.
Yeah, he's just kind of flipping the.
I would love to end it.
Sir,
I would love to end it. and
You
we
know, if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
we would very quickly.
Damn.
Send in the National Guard. It would be.
Wouldn't that be funny if they did?
That would be great.
You know what, Chris? I'd love to. I could do your job way better. I'm very big league at my job.
President for not
Okay, it's
specifically
huge.
calling out Antifa and other left-wing
That's right.
extremist groups.
Antifa.
But are you
Yeah.
willing tonight
Antifa.
to condemn white supremacists and
White
militia
Wait, moment of
supremacists.
truth.
and
Moment
to
of truth.
say that they
He
need
has,
to stand down and not
Let's give him another
add
chance
to the
at it.
violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland? Are you willing to
Area.
do that? Specifically?
Do it.
Well,
I
go
would
ahead,
say,
sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
Oh,
What do
you
what do
had
you
your-
look-
What are you saying?
I'm willing to
Damn.
do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
You want to call him? What do you want to call him?
What?
Give me a name.
I don't think. I honestly don't think he understands the question. I really.
stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
What the fuck
Somebody's
are you doing?
got to do something about
What are you
Antifa
doing?
and
What
the
are you
left, because
doing?
This is not a
Oh,
right-wing
shit.
problem.
His own
This is gonna hurt.
FBI director
This
said,
is a left-wing
Go ahead,
problem.
white
Yeah,
supremacists.
Drew said, wow.
Antifa's
Yeah.
an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
malicious.
I mean, listen,
It's an idea.
the left does the same thing as far as law enforcement and calling out the
We're done,
riots.
sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving
Oh, he fucked that up royally.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's gonna be played a lot in the
Yup.
future. Get ready.
Truth is a bad idea.
Can I tell you
Oh, hey,
what?
Dad.
No ideas that are
Antifa is a dangerous.
Dude, all you had to say was white supremacy is fucking bad, you fucking tard. All you had to do.
When the president seeks a second term, it is generally a referendum on his record.
I'm disappointed.
But Vice President Biden, you like to quote one of your dad's
I'm disappointed.
sayings, which is, "Don't compare me to the Almighty, compare me to
But
the alternative." And in this case, sir,
honestly,
you are
I'll have to
the
watch that
alternative.
again, but I don't even know if he heard the question
Both of your
fully. He was
records,
just
I'm
on
going
a
to ask each
different.
of you,
I'm not touching
why
it.
should
But
voters
when
elect
they
you
went
president
back and
over
doubled
your
down and say,
opponent? In
do
this
it,
segment, President
yeah.
Trump, you go first. 2 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Because there has never been an administration or president who has done more than I've done in a period of 3.5 years.
Listen,
and that's despite the
it's
impeachment
silly
hoax.
because
And you saw what happened today with
he
Hillary
did just
Clinton,
make the
where it was a
KKK
whole
a
big
terrorist
con job.
organizations. Let's not
Right,
pretend.
he did,
Through
but
all
he
of these
didn't
things
even
where I had to
disavow it
fight
in the fucking
both
question.
I know,
flanks and
I know.
behind me and
It's
above.
fucking-
There has never been an administration that's done what I've done. The greatest
For
before
third
COVID
party.
came
I
in,
love
the greatest
words. Words
economy
have
in
the best
history, lowest
words.
unemployment numbers. Everything was good. Everything was going. And by the way, there was unity going to happen. People were
It was
calling me for
going
the
to
first time in years.
Wait,
They were
what?
calling me, and they were saying,
good
it's
flex.
time maybe. And then what happened? We got hit, but now we're building it back up again. A rebuilding of the military,
I
including
can hear
Space
all the
Force
clacking
and all of the other
from
things.
all the left-wing
A
outlets
fixing of the,
saying Trump
the
endorsed the
VA,
KKK.
See, like
which was
that's
a
the one.
mess
Like,
under him.
I'll take a guy
308,000 people
who
died
can't
because they didn't have
talk
proper
properly,
healthcare. He was a
but
mess.
he's still going to
And
get a
we
lot
have
of shit done
91%
over a
approval
guy
rating
who
at the
wants
VA.
to make sure he
Take
says
care of our
everything
vets.
appropriately,
We've
but
rebuilt our
his
military.
actions
The job
suck.
that we've done, and I'll tell
You know what I
something,
mean?
some
Like,
people say
essentially,
maybe the most important.
Trump, like,
By the end
you
of
know,
the first term, I'll have
if you're
approximately
forced between the
300
two.
federal judges and Court of Appeals judges, 300, and hopefully 3 great
Panda says,
Supreme
"Stop
Court
the virus,
judges,
don't let the Donald
justices."
spread.
That is a record, the likes of which very few people, and you know one of the reasons
Since
I have
Abraham
so many
Lincoln.
judges, because President Obama and him left me 128 judges to fill. When you leave office, you don't leave any judges. That's like you just don't do that. They left 128 openings.
That's an honest
and if I
critique.
were a member of his party, because they have a little different philosophy, I'd say if you left us
Biden's like, that was cute.
128 openings, you
Let's
can't
make
be a
out.
good president. You can't be a good vice president. But I want to thank you because it gives us almost, it'll probably be above that
he's
number
gonna
by the end
scare
of this
people.
term.
Fine, sir.
300
I'm very disappointed
judges. It's a
in the
record.
fucking white supremacy
Looking at both of your
question.
records,
I gotta
went
tell
terrible.
you, I'm really hung up on that.
Elect you president as opposed to President Trump.
this
You have 2
president-
minutes uninterrupted.
Under this president, we become weaker, sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent. When I was vice president, we inherited a recession. I was asked to fix it. I did. We left him a booming economy.
Bloom.
And he caused
I
the
love a
recession.
blooming onion.
With regard to being
We
weaker.
left him a blooming
The fact
onion.
is that
Ariel,
I've
amen.
gone head
Where's
to
my
head
girl
with
Jojo
Putin
at?
It's
and made it
almost like he
clear
was
to him
kinda
we're not gonna
drowning.
take
I left
any
him a
of his
blub, blub,
stuff.
blub, blub, blub.
He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even
Puppy?
say anything to Putin about the bounty on the heads of American
say Putin's
soldiers.
puppy?
Your son got
No,
$3.5 million.
That's right.
You're-
By the way,
They're just
Mr.
slinging at each other at this point.
Mr. President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute
He has to
answers
continue to-
uninterrupted.
Oh,
your
I
I
side
like that he's spanking him in the booty right now.
Yep.
Why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word.
Because-
Can you add
No,
back-
Never. Oh boy, he
Hang on.
pounced.
Rhetorical question.
Can you
Go
add
ahead. Yes, you may have.
All right.
Go ahead.
So
hilarious.
thirdly, we're poor. The billionaires have gotten
Yep. Yes, it is,
much more
Drew.
wealthy by a tune of over $300 to $400 billion more just since COVID. You in the home, you got less. You're in more trouble than you were before.
Come on, you recited
In
this so
terms
many
of
times,
being
Joe.
More violent. When we were in office, there were 15% less violence in America than there is today.
What?
He's president of the United States. It's on his watch. And with regard to more divided, the nation can't stay divided. We can't be this way. And speaking of my son, the way you talk about the military, the way you talk about them being losers and being
that's
and
lies.
and just being suckers. My son.
No, I'm just saying it's
in
literally
Iraq.
only
Spent
said
a
it about
year there.
McCain. Michael, John Bolton even said that's not the case.
The Speaker's Service Medal. He was not a loser.
God, you can make that eyebrow you want.
Patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking about Hunter? Are you talking about Hunter?
I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you became vice president, he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
that is simply
and various
not
other places.
True.
He
my
made a
son
fortune.
My son,
and he didn't have a job.
My son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it.
He's railing right now.
But why was he given tens of millions of dollars?
But he wasn't given tens of millions. That is totally
to get more cocaine, you fool.
Totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather hear about more substantial
So do I.
subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment call here.
Gets $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow.
Let's talk about
not true.
Gentlemen, that report is totally discredited. Mitt Romney on that committee.
I mean, listen, to be fair,
that report is written for political reasons.
You know, I'd like to talk about climate change.
if they think that's not important, you know,
The forest fires
is the
in
white
West
supremacy
are raging
question
now.
that
They have
important
burned
either? Or like,
millions of acres.
he's denounced
They
it before,
have displaced
you know, like,
hundreds of
Man,
thousands
they're
of
both going to be
people.
polarized.
When state
I
officials
don't know.
there blame the fires on climate
What's up,
change, Mr.
Rochelle?
President, you said, I don't think
What's up, kiddo?
It's definitely going to make headlines. I'm not,
over
I'm,
your
you know,
4 years, you have
more of an
pulled the US
observation-
out of the Paris Climate
observational
Accord.
question.
You have rolled back a number of Obama environmental records. What
I
do
do
you
take issue with
believe
this.
about the science of climate change, and what will you do in the next 4 years to confront it?
Okay.
I want
big one.
crystal clean water and air. I want beautiful,
Fantastic.
clean air. We have now the lowest carbon. If you look at
We're gonna pour
our numbers
Dasani
right
in the
now,
ocean.
we are doing phenomenally. But I haven't destroyed our businesses. Our businesses aren't put out of commission. If you look at the
Answer the
Paris
fucking
Accord,
question.
it was a disaster from our standpoint. And people are actually very
Well, listen
happy
to
about
them.
what's
They both
going
do
on
the same
because
thing.
our businesses are doing well. As far as the fires are concerned, you need forest management in addition to everything else.
Yeah,
The forest
California
floors
wasn't
are
allowed to
loaded
do
up with
controlled
trees,
burns for a
dead
while or
trees
some
that are
shit like
years
that
old,
to
and
get
they're
rid of
like
all this
tinder
ground foliage.
and leaves
yes,
and everything
but
else. You drop a
I
cigarette
believe
and then
that
the
it was
whole
because
forest burns
they were
out.
worried
You've
about
got to have forest management.
that they
You've
couldn't
gotta have
control
What
it,
do you
even
believe
might
about the
be
science
controlled
of
fire.
climate change, sir?
They didn't feel
he
like
has
that.
a second opportunity to answer this
we can to
environment
have
issue.
immaculate air, immaculate water, and do whatever else we can.
Those
That's
are
good.
just
You know,
fucking
we're planting
words.
a billion trees, the Billion Tree Project, and
Okay.
it's very
Do you
exciting.
believe
for a lot of people.
that
Billion
human
okay.
pollution, greenhouse gas emissions contributes to the global warming of
I
this
think a
planet?
lot of
Answer
things
the
do, but I think
fucking
to an
question.
extent,
You
yes.
won't.
I think to an extent,
Yes,
yes. But I
okay.
also think we have to do better management of our forests.
That's a safe
Every
answer.
year, I get the
this is all
call,
too safe.
California's burning. California's burning. If that was
Boringly
clean,
safe.
if you had forest management, good forest management, you wouldn't be getting those calls. You know, in Europe, they live their forest
I'd like to
cities.
maybe
They're called
see
forest
why,
cities. They
Biden's
maintain
prepped
their
for this
forests.
one,
They
I guess.
manage
Maybe
their
dive into
forests.
that issue a little bit
I
on a
was
different
with the head
show,
of a
kind of about
major
California and their forests.
It's
Like,
a
what's up with
forest
that?
city.
For sure.
He said, "Sir,
some people
we
we
have
can talk to."
trees
Yeah, that'd be
that
awesome.
are far more. They ignite much easier than California. There shouldn't be that problem." I spoke with the governor about it. I'm getting along very well with the governor, but I said, you know, at some point, you can't
Governor
every
Newsom.
year have hundreds of thousands of acres of land just burned to the ground.
But, sir,
That's
Loves
burning down because
articulating
of a
those
lack
numbers.
of
But,
management.
sir, if you believe in the science of climate change, why have you rolled back the Obama Clean Power Plan, which limited carbon emissions in power plants? Why have you relaxed?
Because it was driving energy prices through the sky.
Why have you relaxed
Okay,
fuel
be honest.
economy
That's what I wanna hear.
standards that are going to create more pollution from cars
Well,
and
not
trucks.
really, because what's happening is the car is much less expensive and it's a much safer car, and you're talking about a tiny difference. And then what would happen, because of the cost of the car, you would have at least double and triple the number of cars purchased. We have the old slugs out there that are 10, 12 years old. If you did that, the car would be safer. It would be much cheaper by
But in the case of
$3,500.
California, they've simply
No, but you
ignored
would take a lot of cars
roadmap.
off the market.
California,
because
they
people
just
would
signed
be
a
able
bill
to
by
afford a car.
2035. They want to
Now,
get rid of gas
so-
cars.
By the way, we're going to see how that turns out. But a lot of people agree with me. Many people. The car has gotten so expensive because they have computers all over the place for an extra little bit of gasoline. And and I'm okay with electric cars too. I think I'm all for electric cars. I've given big incentives for electric cars. But what they've done in California is just crazy.
Vice President Biden, I'd like you to respond to the president's climate change record, but I also want to ask you about a concern. You proposed $2 trillion in green jobs. You talk about new limits, not abolishing, but new limits on fracking, ending the use of fossil fuels to generate electricity by 2035.
Man, this has been something else. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys are just tuning in here, I think this is going to end at 10:30. Do you want to maybe take a break after that and then come back, hang out, and talk about it for a bit?
Drinks.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, stick around after this too. We'll talk some more.
I was in charge, able to bring down the cost of renewable energy to cheaper than or as cheap as coal and gas.
I thought he said
oil.
cheap ass.
Nobody's going to build another coal-fired plant in America. No one's going to.
That's a big thing Trump did, though, for the coal workers.
Is renewable energy. Number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that we are able to take the federal fleet and turn it into a fleet that's run
I feel like, does he have notes?
their electric vehicles.
He does.
Making sure that we can do that. We're going to put 500,000
I'm sure Trump does too.
stations and all of the highways that we're going to be building in the future. We're going to build an economy that, in fact, is going to provide for the ability us to take 4 million buildings and make sure that they, in fact, are weatherized in a way that, in fact, they'll emit significantly less gas and oil because the heat will not be going out. There's so many things that we can do now to create thousands and thousands of jobs. We can get to net zero in terms of energy production by 2035. Not only that, costing people jobs, creating millions of good-paying jobs.
Look at Trump. He's like listening. He's like, hey,
$15
really
an
good
hour.
idea.
What does the jobs have to do with the environment, though? Like, they both do the same thing. They both take the question, they start out with it, and then they just spin into a different...
I will join the Paris Accord because with us out of it, look what's happening. It's all falling apart. And talk about someone who has no relationship with foreign policy. Brazil, the rainforests of Brazil are being torn down, are being ripped down. More carbon is absorbed in that rainforest than every bit of carbon that's emitted in the United States. Instead of doing something about that, I would be gathering up and making sure we had the countries of the world coming up with $20 billion and say, here's $20 billion. Stop tearing down the forest. And if you don't, then you're going to have significant economic consequences.
What about the argument that President Trump basically says
your son does
that you
cocaine.
have to balance environmental interests and economic interests, and he's drawn his line?
Well, he hadn't drawn a line. He still, for example, makes sure that he wants to make sure that methane's not a problem. You can now emit more methane without it being a problem. Methane. This is a guy who says that you don't have to have mileage standards for automobiles that exist now. This is a guy who says that. Well, the fact is, it's all true. And here's the deal.
Talking about the Green New Deal, and it's not $2 billion or $20 billion, as you said. It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
where they want to rip down buildings and rebuild the building. It's the most ridiculous.
What do you do when Biden is coming out saying all these things that are just kind of words?
I don't know. I'm for the sake of the fucking decorum of it.
That's not true either.
But they both have no decorum.
That's more money than our country could make
Biden
in
just
100
fucking
years.
lying.
Not the case.
All right,
we got two liars on the stage.
Because wait a minute, sir. I actually have studied your plan, and it includes upgrading 4 million buildings, weatherizing 2 million homes over 4 years, building 1.5 million energy-efficient homes. So the question becomes, the president is saying, I think some people who support the president would say that sounds like it's going to cost a lot of money and hurt the economy.
What it's going to do is going to create thousands and millions of jobs, good-paying jobs.
But let him finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
That's gaslighting, though.
It's snarky as fuck.
Yeah.
And these tax incentives for people to weatherize, which he wants to get rid of. It's going to make the economy much safer. Look how much we're paying now to deal with the hurricanes. By the way, he has an answer for hurricanes. He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them. They may.
I never said that.
That's what he did say.
You made it up.
And here's the deal.
You make up a
we are going to be in a position where we can create hard, good jobs by making sure the environment is clean and we all are in better shape. We spend billions of dollars now. Billions of dollars on floods, hurricanes, rising seas.
We're always
in
gonna
real
spend
trouble.
money on this shit.
Look what's happened just in the Midwest with these storms that come through and wipe out entire sections and counties in Iowa. That didn't happen before. They're because of global warming. We make up 15% of the world's problem. We, in fact, but the rest of the world, we've got to get them to come along. That's why we have to get back into.
Put a baby pool on the stage, fill it up with some mud and jelly, and let them just roll around in it.
So why didn't he do it for 47 years? You
Good
were
question.
vice
Fair
president.
question.
Why didn't you get the world? China sends up real dirt into the air. Russia does. India does. They all do. We're supposed to be good. And by the way, he made a couple of statements.
Okay.
The Green New Deal is $100 trillion.
That is not my plan.
That's
the Green New
you want to
Deal
rebuild every
is
building.
not my plan.
I want to rebuild every.
If you knew anything about
like Rochelle said, this is like kindergartners.
Something about the military.
This is the best our country's been able to muster.
I never said
Okay.
That is
what
not
he
true.
did is he
You're done in
said
this segment.
he called the military
Mr. Vice President,
stupid bastards.
What?
He said it on tape. He said stupid bastards.
What is
I would never say that.
Play it.
Go ahead.
Play it.
Mr. Vice President,
Close out his phone.
answered his final question.
The final question is, I can't remember which of all his rantings.
I'm having a little trouble myself. But
They're getting along there a little bit.
About this
Really?
question, what it's going to cost.
The economy.
I mean, the Green New Deal and the idea of
It's becoming a little obvious that the moderator is invested in like being buddy with Joe.
I don't even think it's being buddy with Joe. He just doesn't like Biden. I mean, he doesn't like Trump. Yeah.
Pardon me?
You support?
No, I don't support the Green New Deal.
Ooh, you just fucking hurt yourself.
You just lost the radical left.
That's why Trump doesn't.
I support the Biden plan that I put forward.
Okay.
The Biden plan, which is
There's a
different
Biden
than
plan.
what he calls the radical
Bring all your
Green
kids
New Deal.
All right,
my
gentlemen,
backyard.
final segment, election integrity. As we meet tonight,
Oh,
millions of
man.
Americans are receiving.
I ain't voting from mail. I'll tell you that much. Vote in person, please. Vote in person. Those of you watching for the first presidential debate, stuck in the middle, live on Facebook and Twitch. Vote in person, please.
Because it'll not only be to Election Day, but also counting some ballots, mail-in ballots after Election Day. What are you prepared to do to reassure the American
He who talks over the
people
most
that the next
wins.
president
That's the
will
rule.
be the legitimate winner of this election? In this
Wiener.
final segment, Mr. Vice President, you go first.
Prepared to let
You go
people vote.
first.
You should go to iwillvote.com. Decide how they're going to vote, when they're going to vote, and what means by which they're going to vote. His own Homeland Security Director, and as well as the FBI Director, says there is no evidence at all that mail-in ballots are a source of being manipulated and cheating. They said that. The fact is that there
We'll
are
talk about that,
because of COVID
Yes.
that are going to be
Bullshit.
voting by mail-in ballots, like he does, by the way. He sits behind the Resolute desk and sends his ballot to Florida, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that those people who want to vote in person are able to vote because enough poll watchers are there to make sure they can socially distance. The polls are open.
Hey, Eli,
on time,
aren't you a poll
and the
watcher?
polls stay open until the
Love me
votes are
some
counted.
polls.
Yeah.
And this is all about trying to dissuade people
not
from
yours,
voting
fuck.
because he's trying to scare people into thinking that it's not going to be legitimate.
We support green here
Show
too,
up and
Panda.
vote. You will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote,
he's
vote.
just
If
touching
you're
me
able
right
to
in the
vote
soul.
early in
I
your
like
state,
green and
vote
purple.
early.
He's like my
Able to
grandpa.
vote
His
eye
in
contact
person,
is so
vote in person,
sincere.
vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you from being able to determine the outcome of this election. And in terms
What?
of whether or not when the votes are counted
He's
and they're all
appealing to
counted,
the,
that will be
Trump
accepted.
is the bad guy
If I
people.
win,
Yeah,
that
but I don't know
will
what
be
that
accepted.
means,
If I
though.
lose, that'll be accepted. But by the way, if in fact he says he's not sure what he's going to accept, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter. because if we get the votes, it's going to be all over.
I
He's gonna
don't
go.
like that.
He can't
Hang
stay
on.
in power. It won't happen. It won't happen. So vote. Just make sure
like
you
he's
understand.
patting-
You have it in your control to determine what this country is going to look like the next 4 years. Is it going to change? You get 4
Let's
more
not
years of
pretend
these
that
lies.
when these votes come in, and if it comes in more Trump, the
minutes.
Democrats are going to contest that shit like a
when I listen to
motherfucker.
Joe
Nancy
talking about
Pelosi
a
said, "Do
transition,
not give in."
there's been
Come
a
on,
transition
but if
from
Trump
when
does
I
it,
won
he's trying to
that
cheat.
election.
I don't like that
And if you
shit.
hear
look
Trump's
at
rebuttal here.
Crooked Hillary Clinton, if you
Sorry.
look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to
Man.
do a coup. They came after me spying
Hell
on my
yes,
campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator
Giggity.
with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition. As
Yeah,
far
the
as
whole-
ballots
yeah,
are
the whole
concerned,
Russia
it's a
thing.
disaster. A solicited ballot. Okay, solicited is okay. You're soliciting, you're asking, they send it back, you send it back. I did that. If you have an unsolicited, they're sending millions of ballots all over the country.
Yep.
There's fraud.
Already filled
they
out.
Found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump. Just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket.
There was 9 of them, and I
They're
think
all over
6
the
were
place.
for
They
Trump,
sent
and like the
2
other
in a
3 were
Democrat
Biden or
area.
something
They
like
sent out
that.
1,000 ballots. Everybody
So
got 2
when they
ballots.
say
This
there's
is
no
going to be
evidence
fraud like you've never seen.
that's
The other
bullshit.
thing,
Like it's
nice.
legit
On November
bullshit.
3rd, you're watching and you see who won the election. And I think we're going to do well because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months because
he's
these
planting
ballots
the
are going to
seed.
be all over.
No,
Take a look
not
at
at
what
all.
happened in
That's
Manhattan.
what
Take a
they
look at
say.
what happened in New Jersey.
He's
Take a
not
look at
allowed
what
to
happened in
declare
Virginia
victory
and other
on
places.
election night,
They're not losing
but Biden
2%,
is.
1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election
On
can
social
be
media.
won or lost
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
I
They're
remember
losing
that.
30 and 40%. It's a fraud, and it's a shame. And can you imagine where they say you have to have your ballot in by November 10th? November 10th. That means that's 7 days after the election, in theory, should have been announced.
Okay.
We have major states with that, all run by
2
Democrats.
minutes is 2 minutes.
All run by
You're-
Democrats. It's
President
a,
Trump,
it's a rigged election.
you're going to be able to continue. You have been charging for months that mail-in balloting is going to be a disaster. You say it's rigged, that it's going to lead to fraud. But in 2018, in the last midterm election, 31 million people voted mail-in voting. That was a quarter, more than a quarter of all the voters
They
out there
requested
cast their ballots by mail.
He said he's cool
Now
with
that
solicited
millions of
votes.
mail-in
They're
ballots
just
have gone
mailing
out,
them out
what are you
unsolicited.
going to
I didn't
do
think that was
about it?
legal.
And are you counting on the Supreme Court,
There's a conversation to be
including a
had.
Justice Barrett, to settle any dispute?
Yeah, I think I'm counting on them to look at the ballots, definitely. I don't think I hope we don't need them in terms of the election itself. But for the ballots, I think so. Because what's happening is incredible. I read today, where at least 1% of the ballots for 2016 were invalidated. They take them, we don't like them, we don't like them.
But what are
They
you
throw
going to
them
do
out
about it?
left
If there
and
are
right.
millions of ballots going out
What
right
you
now,
do
what
is
are
you
you
go
going
and
to do?
vote. You do a solicited ballot,
No,
and that's okay,
I know your
or you go and
complaint. I'm
vote.
asking you about the fact that
That's what he's
millions of
saying.
people
You go
have
and
received-
vote. You
Fauci
go
said
and
it's
vote.
cool to
But
go
what I'm saying
vote.
is
Why is it not cool to go in
You
person
either
and
do,
vote?
Chris, a solicited
given
ballot
all the
where
things
you're
that
Coronavirus
sending
is
it,
down, it's
sending it back,
open.
and you're
Why
sending-
are they pushing
have
mail-in voting?
mailmen
It's
with
just
shopping
lots
in
of them. Did you
grocery
see what's
stores,
going on?
just-
Take
you
a look
can
at
go in
West
person if
Virginia,
you want
mailmen
to.
selling
By
the
God.
ballots. They're being sold. They're being dumped in rivers.
There's a
This is
video of them
horrible
literally
thing
that
for
just
our
came out by
country.
Project
This is
Veritas
not-
of them
this is
selling
not
a man
going
selling
well.
I saw the
This is
headline.
not going
an
down.
absentee
5 states
ballot.
had
Go ahead,
mail-in
sir.
ballots for the last decade or more, 5, including 2 Republican states. And you don't have to solicit the ballot. It's sent to you. It's sent to your home. What we're saying is,
Filled
we're
out.
saying is that it has to be a postmark by the time, by election day. If it doesn't
Remember
get in
when we
until the
found out
7th,
that
8th,
one
9th,
state,
it still
Michigan or
should
Minnesota,
be
didn't
counted.
require
He's just
postage? They were
afraid
trying to
of
get that
counting the
passed,
vote
that the
because
mail-in
you're
ballot didn't have to have postage on it.
I want to
I
continue with you
remember
on
briefly
this,
covering
Vice
it.
President Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes a statement
no,
like that.
excuse me, Vice President Biden, the biggest problem, in fact, over the years with mail-in voting has not been fraud historically. It has been that sizable number. Sometimes hundreds of thousands of ballots are thrown out because they have not been properly filled out, or there is some other irregularity, or they missed the deadline. So the question I have is, are you concerned that the Supreme Court with a Justice Barrett will settle any dispute?
I'm concerned that any court would settle this, because here's the deal. When you get a ballot
Biden, baby.
and you fill it out,
break it down, Joe.
You're supposed to have an affidavit. If you didn't know, you have someone say that this is me. You should be able to, if in fact you can verify that's you when the ballot is thrown out, that's sufficient to be able to count the ballot because someone made a mistake and not dotting the correct I. Who they voted for, testify, say who they voted for,
testify,
say it's you. That is totally legitimate.
All right.
Excuse me, when you have 80 million ballots,
I have a final
Senate
question.
and swamping the system,
you
know it can't be done.
80 million.
And already there's been
so now
fraud.
Mail service delivers 185 million pieces of mail a day.
Just let them smack each other once.
In 8 states,
Trump looks very bad when he talks over him, but he's just an emotional man.
From even beginning to process,
You're not supposed to be emotional.
ballots, even take them out of the envelopes and flatten them until Election Day. That means that it's likely, because there's going to be a huge increase in mail-in balloting, that we are not going to know on election night who the winner is, that it could be days, it could be weeks,
could be months,
until we find out who the new president is. So first for you, sir, finally for the vice president, I hope neither of you will interrupt the other. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm during this extended period, not to engage in any civil unrest? And will you pledge tonight that you will not declare victory until the election has been independently certified?
Both of them.
President Trump,
I'm
you go first.
urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully, because that's what has to happen. I am urging them to do it. As you know, today there was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia.
Didn't Pee Wee Herman get in trouble for poll watching?
I am urging my
Amanda will ride her
poll.
poll.
Election. If it's a fair election, I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that. And I'll tell you what,
does that
from
mean,
a common sense,
does that mean
I'll tell you what it means.
What does that mean,
A
man?
fraudulent election. You're sending out 80 million ballots. They're not
Biden has an opportunity to come out here on top with his rebuttal.
They cheat. They cheat. Hey, they found ballots in a wastepaper basket 3 days ago, and they all had the name military ballots. They were military.
Trump, you're
they all had the name
not
Trump
good
on them.
He's getting emotional.
Vice President Biden, final question for you. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, and here's the deal.
See, that's
They
simple.
count the ballots, as you pointed out. Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until Election Day. And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it. And by the way, our military, they've been voting by ballots since the end of the Civil War.
And they just found 9 of them that were thrown out.
And that's what's going to happen. Why was it not? Why is it for them somehow not fraudulent? It's the same process. It's honest. No one has established at all that there is fraud related to mail-in ballots, that somehow it's a fraudulent process.
It's already been established. Take a look at Carolyn Maloney's race.
You had an opportunity to respond.
Look at Carolyn Maloney.
Go ahead.
They have no idea what happened.
Vice President Biden, go ahead.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the deal. The fact is, I will accept
I love Biden's
you know why?
jab before he ever,
Once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it. And if it's me, in fact, fine. If it's not me, I'll support the outcome. And I'll be a president not just for the
glad to hear that
Democrats. I'll be a president for Democrats and Republicans.
Okay.
And this guy,
I want to see an honest ballot count.
Gentlemen, you say that's the end of it? This is the end of this debate?
Honest ballot count.
God damn it.
To be continued as in more debates as we go on.
Oh, God, there's going to be more of these?
I think, you know what?
President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half. I want to thank you both for participating. in the first of 3 debates that you have agreed to engage in. We want to thank Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic for hosting this event. The next debate,
we want to
sponsored by the
thank Stuck
Commission
in the
on
Middle.
Presidential Debates, will be 1 week from tomorrow, October 7th, at the University of Utah in
it's a
Salt Lake City.
Wednesday.
The 2 vice presidential nominees, Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris, will debate at 9 p.m. Eastern that night. We hope you watch. Until then, thank you and good night.
You know who won this debate? Chris fucking Wallace.
Right.
Minutes after beginning, we have an answer
He
to
came
one
off
of the
the most
questions.
sane. He was the one saying, kids, calm the fuck down. Yeah, wow.
Listen,
all right, so
that
I'm afraid of a lot of
honestly,
things.
honestly, that has me really pumped up for the next 2 debates. I think I think I want to live stream for the next 2 as well.
I want to be here from the goddamn beginning. I'm sure I missed some gems.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
wanted
it
a
was-
fucking recap.
Yeah, they started off,
Was it cordial? Did they shake hands?
No. I mean, it was never cordial. Like what you saw when you walked in, like they were just
From the
talking.
beginning? Yeah.
Trump was talking over Chris Wallace a lot, and Chris Wallace was trying to take a hold of it. Biden, like they were all just. It was like a mumbo jumbo
Did
of
they
words.
shake? Did they shake hands in the beginning?
I don't remember.
But Joe's reaction when he saw Trump was beautiful.
Oh,
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
like, it was like you
Chris
surprised to
Wallace,
see
get
me?
this man a table over here.
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah,
that part was beautiful. Yeah, Drew. Yeah, we will definitely. Drew is coming down to Fort Lauderdale. Much catch up with some of them. Yeah, for sure, man.
Bro, I'm constantly having little Gettys. I got all the spots, man. I know all the greatest spots. Just come over to me. Look, I'm being Biden. I'm looking y'all in the eye.
I'm looking
Nice
on
and
your
creepy
eye.
like. Amanda said she'll ride your pole if you watch the polls.
Listen, let's take a quick breaky poo. We'll be right back, and we'll hang out and maybe discuss some of the aftermath
Some polls.
of
Touch our
that.
polls.
I don't know. You think? Who do you think? Who do you think won? I guess we'll discuss
Chris
teaser.
Wallace won, and our country is doomed. That's my
Yeah.
takeaway.
Yeah.
Goodbye, America.
We're officially fucked either way.
We're officially fucked. All right, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Be drunk.
Holy titty sprinkles. Stuck in the Middle is back.
I always play the wrong one. Oh man. What a show. What a show. Yo, can I hit that 1-to-1?
Overwhelmingly depressed. I feel an impending sense of doom.
Right. Welcome back. Stuck in the Middle. Live on Facebook, live on Twitch. Not tonight on Mommy Mike Radio, but Karen Stacy. No, Ashley, this is not the wrong song. This is the post show.
Oh, God.
This is the post show for the debates,
Thank you,
Ashley.
PR.
Thank you,
Yeah,
PR.
we know what's going on, Ashley.
Yeah.
We adore you.
Know, the guys who do the fucking thing.
Oh, wow. Panda's coming up on 5 months being clean. That is fantastic, Panda.
Yeah.
Great news.
Not clean from this dick.
Whoa.
Wow. He went there. Drake Smith, we the blue back Joe Biden. Don't let Trump cut local law enforcement aid by $400 million. # cops for Biden.
Whoa.
Well, Jake, hey man, appreciate your input. I'd like to know where you heard us from. Appreciate you tuning in.
Oh, was that on Twitch?
I don't know. This is
Or is it
Facebook,
Jake from
Facebook.
State Farm? Oh, okay.
congrats,
word.
Panda.
I like your
Jake
khakis,
says so.
Jake
Yeah,
from State Farm.
Yeah, Jake from State Farm. Wow. So, what are some of the takeaways from that?
Ladies.
I know
no
one of the
longer
biggest
voting.
thing. Listen, I guess
Jinx.
let's go to the biggest thing because
Right
damn
in these
well
pants.
tomorrow when we wake up,
Headlines are going to be
Headlines.
everywhere. Trump does not denounce the KKK.
Rightfully so.
right?
because he
Trump does
did.
not denounce the no. Trump does not denounce white supremacy.
All right, let's do this. How
Yeah,
about
he
how
did
about
denounce the kick.
you do the left side and then the right side. Headlines.
Hold on.
What do
Very
you mean?
upset with a member that I work with that's on
Hold that thought.
Voice of the
Held.
People. He reported a fucking meme. You don't do that. And now I got to fucking remove you from the group.
Who?
I'm gonna put his fucking name out there. I mean,
well, don't remove him yet. Like, let's give him a
Blast
talking
him.
to. What was the meme?
it's a fucking, it's from Brian Hennessy.
What was the meme?
Here you go. Look, I'm gonna sneak this in while you're all watching the cat herding. Hey, fact checkers, fact check this: how men who vote for Biden drink milk. So we have, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here. Is that a pipe put into a hot dog?
Oh yeah,
hot dog straw.
No. It's a drill that's put into a hot dog. So when you press the drill, the hot dog goes boom, 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 and it goes. Why was that reported? Can I see who reported it?
Yeah, he
Let me
works
see.
with me, dude.
So currently there's some reporting going down.
Yeah, we don't fuck with that snitching shit,
What?
guys.
They
Come
don't.
on.
They can't show it in case they get reported again.
Might be inappropriate content. Can't include posts, comments. Come on, bro. Grow the fuck up. All right, that's what I gotta say. I'm keeping it, by the way.
Well, anyways, tomorrow we know for sure, all over. Like, I bet you even right now, Trump doesn't denounce white supremacy. What do you have to say about that? What do you guys have to say on that?
That was very disappointing.
I'm not
Extremely.
voting again.
I think
I think, Adam, honestly, I think that's a cop-out.
I need to rewatch it.
No, why?
For sure.
Why?
Because I see
Because
I
he
see
literally
Josh's
made
point.
KKK a terrorist organization. I need to rewatch it. I don't even know if he was focused on answering the question at hand. I don't know. What I don't like is when they doubled back and it sounded like he didn't answer. But I mean, what you've made the KKK a terrorist organization. That's not necessarily denouncing white supremacy as a whole. I understand that. But let's also not pretend that by him not doing as Christopher Wallace asked isn't necessarily bad. Right. But also, too, when rioters come up to you and they're like, say Black Lives Matter, and you don't, you could have said it's a very simple thing. But, something about
I find
being
that to
told.
be very polarizingly different. If
Not
if we're
necessarily.
going to the video where they were like, come on, say it now.
But being right, I mean, that's the same thing.
Chris
Like, you're being
Wallace saying,
told.
do you denounce the
think-
KKK?
I mean,
Or
listen.
white
Let's not pretend it's just Chris
Is it
Wallace though.
bad?
Let's pretend you have 34 million people watching. It's essentially like that. Like, say it right now.
Okay, but
I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying I agree with
simplest thing in
him.
the
Not
world.
say. I agree. It's simple. As I said plenty of times, I think he should have said it. Although I think there's more to it. I think you can't just base off that because he didn't denounce that. I think it's inaccurate to say now then that he is racist or he hasn't denounced it when he has denounced it, and he has. I mean, he has. I can pull video.
No,
I know the exact
I remember
date.
the structure.
And he just made the KKK a terrorist organization.
Yes.
So
Heard this
why?
time and time again.
But what doesn't make sense is why he wouldn't bring that up. And yes, he did have 2 chances to denounce it. I mean,
I think he might have had 3. You know what I mean?
possibly.
They might even.
But the question was very, very clear, right?
Was it
Right.
Drake you read about? That's a new comment
Yeah.
right there. Okay.
But yeah, I just think, yeah. I mean, he could have been in the heat of the moment. But
I'm not making the fucking excuses. I'll watch it again and then I'll make my determination. Josh,
He
I have
struck out 3 times for me, though.
He specifically
was
said
asked-
Antifa, though.
He was
right?
asked,
very specific. Yes.
And then he was asked again. He was given a second opportunity. And then at the end, when he was asked if he could just tell his fucking supporters not to be fucking violent, he couldn't even do that. So, like, that's like, I'm sorry, but like now is not the time to be like antagonizing people.
Yes.
This is a very
He wasn't
high
antagonizing
tension
anybody. He just said
He was
But he wasn't.
he
not
didn't answer the
antagonizing.
question.
to me,
right.
he was
So,
incentivizing the not calm down.
Don't-
That's-
don't
that's a
trust the
stretch. That's a
media,
stretch.
man.
Right,
so
that's a
now
stretch.
this leads me to a direct question for you, Josh. Something that I kind of asked you in the kitchen.
Yep.
You of course, you're on the show. Say what you want as you want it, sir.
yep.
Are you? I'm getting the impression you're going to vote for Trump. I know you don't like
I'm
Biden.
never
I don't
Biden.
like Biden.
Yeah.
I'm
So
never
I'm not
Biden.
going to vote for him. So
And
what-
I've been flip flopping with Trump. I'm very disappointed with this debate, but I cannot help but shake that. Even when you were appropriately moderating, I got the impression like you were just very invested in Trump.
Well, because there's a lot of bullshit about it.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
I'm more invested in the bullshit, like spin,
That's been
manipulation
the premise for our show for
right,
a very
more
long
so
time.
than invested in Trump. It just appears this way.
So are you going to vote for Trump?
I mean, I'm not going to vote for Biden.
So, okay. So you mean you just don't want to say?
You don't have to vote for president.
Right. I mean, you don't have to vote for president, but if you follow the logic of some of the left, you know, if you don't vote, that's a vote going to somebody else.
Yeah, all the time, man. Yeah.
So if I have to vote between the two, I would definitely vote for Trump over Biden. Hands down. I almost feel forced and compelled to vote for Trump over Biden.
That's how I've felt for the duration and evolution of this show.
But is it for Trump, his politics?
Or is it because it's not Biden?
I mean, there is a few things that I really like that Trump has done, especially recently, as far as peace in the Middle East, as far as the whole China trade agreement.
North Korea.
There are many things that I think he can do way better on and that I will criticize him for.
Right.
But
you how about this question?
Yeah.
You don't think another 4 years of Trump would be the worst thing?
No, I definitely don't.
And
I definitely don't think it's going to be the end of the world.
Of course.
I think he's became a little more presidential since 2016 to
In his
now.
own way.
I think he's became
In
a
his
little
own way.
more. Yeah, well, I mean, from 2016 to now, yeah, for sure. You know, like that. Not saying he's more presidential, meaning like he hasn't. You know, he's not in the running of the best presidents, but he's learned more how to speak and kind of hold back, not be more emotional. He's done a lot of good shit.
And all of that went out the window today.
I disagree. This is a debate. Like a lot of it's just for show.
Ruined my day.
Well, no. I mean, here's your opportunity, right?
Yeah,
but I believe your opportunity is more in actions. We all know Trump is bad at words. This is not surprising to me that he stumbled over this.
Right,
Unlike the most elementary things.
It's not the end of the day. Like his policies and the things he's implementing and what the country's doing to me matters a little more than this matters. Like when we judge it off of what this is, like that looked bad. But what he's doing still outweighs what this is to me.
What's on legislation, paper, action, that all matters more. But, you know, we can't pretend like some of the poignant and simple questions that were pointed at both these gentlemen, they absolutely clusterfucked. I'm saying both. And I didn't watch the whole fucking debate. I was at goddamn work. But
you didn't miss much in the
both of my opinions on them has only strengthening. You know what I mean? Nothing's swayed.
Honestly, I think Biden performed better than I thought he would.
Me too. Same. He was on that Coke or Adderall.
He was definitely, and we found out he was looking at a teleprompter. So go figure.
Oh yes, the picture I sent it.
He had some notes up on a teleprompter.
Our buddy, I'll tag him too.
I'd love to see.
Sorry, I'm getting some.
Pull it up.
Isn't that the? Yes, it is. I just got sent some information about one of those fucking.
Drake said you missed a headache.
Yeah, I mean, I got to catch some of that headache.
He is not wrong. Drake's probably not going to like me saying I'm going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, no, he seems very. Look, he looks to be a former cop. I mean, he has the badge with the black band around it, honoring someone fallen, and he's very against that Trump dared to say Biden is against law enforcement, and he cites some of the bills he has written.
Yeah, Drake cited the crime bill, and with all due respect, the crime bill is one of the biggest thing that has hurt the minorities and black people. You know, 3-strike rule, that definitely helps law enforcement, I suppose, by making more money.
Well,
so look, like right here, I can't zoom in too well, unfortunately, but right here, there's his teleprompter.
Okay.
Trump doesn't have one.
Really?
Yep.
Well, is it possible that the angling here is eliminating because the way they're facing? I just don't want to rule out.
Oh no, wait, no. This is Christopher Wallace. Where's the teleprompter?
Oh, I think Eric DeGiorgio was assuming it's all the way to the left.
This?
Yeah,
no, fuck no.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't look at the picture. I was just taking your word for it. I honestly don't see a teleprompter.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So, because I had my doubts, that's why.
Here, I'm gonna
to the left.
I'm taking this on my side real quick.
It's pretty far. Let me get Eric in here. Let me get Jesse in here right now.
I mean, this picture should be.
Who's that lady? Oh, well, this is there's no teleprompter. I don't see a teleprompter. So, yeah, who's that lady? So yeah, I'm gonna let's make a correction. I do not think he was using a teleprompter. That was fake news. Fake news.
And I think Trump would have called that shit out too. So thank you for Eric for spreading false information.
Drake Smith says Trump does not need a teleprompter because he's a pathological liar.
Okay,
just like the New York Times, like making up the $750 fucking that's all he paid shit. That's ridiculous.
So you said that the FBI and the CIA or
wait, what?
So when we were talking about that there is no signs of voting fraud, that there was an investigation by the FBI and
that there are signs of fraud as pretty much that was brought up, like recently the 9 votes, the 9 voter ballots that were found like in a ditch, like 6 of them were for Trump. There's a lot of small instances like that to where you can't say wholeheartedly there's no instances of voter fraud.
And that's what
and then there's a lot of people
bullshit when Joe Biden said there was.
I have to recall what
I remember.
Right,
what you're referring to. Yeah.
Do you remember what Joe Biden said?
He was talking about how he said your own FBI director and some other person.
Was that close to when he referenced how the military gets the votes? Or
I might have called bullshit on something else. Like
you did it like
very
and you threw
closely,
your hands up and shit.
Yeah, when he said that there's no evidence that your head of your FBI said that there was no evidence of voter fraud. And that's when he said bullshit.
No.
2 things I want to add real quick first.
Because I don't even know that story, so I don't even.
All right, Drake's point. You know what? I'm still like I'm sick and tired of this fucking Trump dodging the tax return shit. Like,
it's annoying as shit.
He made this ammunition by doing it the way he's done it. They're gonna happen. He's left himself so open.
Yo, it's legit the same information. I don't know if you've read it. Read the article. It's the same information that came out in 2016.
Apparently,
it's
with some
nothing new.
Additional info from what I've heard, but I haven't read. But I'm saying, man,
read
like
it.
Trump
It's
could have just
nothing
goddamn
new.
fucking released the shit. It's a tradition. Every president
If there
has
was
done
something there, the headline would be different.
I'm just saying, like, he could have really nipped that fucker right in the goddamn bud. I want to ask the audience, everybody that was either very pro one way or the other, because I see, like, Anthony LaStalla, pro MAGA man, and I know where you stand, brother, and I respect you because of your conviction. How do you feel, whoever you're siding with, how do you feel about your candidate after watching that debate? Anthony said, like, I had to turn my TV off because I couldn't believe it was a presidential debate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second and the third one.
They always do get a little better.
Yeah.
They will. All right. Quickly, stall. I need more liquor.
Yeah, I have. I have. That's my sandwiches. I have faith that they will get better. Let me see. I wrote down a few other things.
Yeah. So you have faith that like the debate will get better? I mean, like I have hopes. Like I would hope that.
So wait,
I wrote down. So I wrote down recent evidence of bullshit with the voting. So I don't think I was refuting. Because again, I'm not familiar with the FBI coming out and saying that there's no evidence. But what I'm saying is, like, there is evidence.
Yeah. No, I hear exactly what you're saying. I was just to what Joe Biden.
Maybe I was delayed in when I said the words bullshit. No, like legit. Maybe
I
like
feel you.
Yeah.
It was Well, I know that I've heard, and because my mom's a ginormous Democrat, right?
Right.
Joe Biden all the way.
Huge.
Huge.
Very bigly.
So I gave her a call. I wanted to hear from the typical Democrat, older Democrat, and she thought he did wonderful, fabulous, and she's the one that told me about the FBI and I believe the CIA as well, or another department of some sort of justice, saying that there is no evidence, right, of what Trump was claiming,
right.
So I haven't looked into it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely encourage you to look into it
for sure
if you would like. Because I wasn't prepared. I don't have anything pulled up, but there is credible outlets who do report on it that it's not gonna make you raise an eyebrow and be like, oh, can I trust it? It's nothing like that. But I think what a lot of people discount is some of them are they're kind of small and they're clustered, but 82 million are just being sent out as opposed to being requested.
Right.
So
right. Which I didn't think was legal.
I mean, I don't understand how because a lot of them are essentially pre-filled out. Like this is just hearsay, I suppose, because this is I don't know for a fact, but a lot of people that I hear are getting voter ballots sent to their houses for people who used to live there, and they could just, because they're filled out, they could just sign it for them and send it back in for that person. So like, because it's 82 million, it's like that's why it's easier, instead of just debating the whole is there fraud, just go in person. Right. Then the conversation doesn't even need to be had. Absolutely. Go in person.
Absolutely.
We've been able to grocery shop. We've been able to go to work.
Agree with all of that.
The bars are open. Go vote in person.
The counter conversation is, you should be able to vote however you want to in this country.
Of course, but we've just seen hired records of there is on 100% without a shadow of a doubt more instances of not necessarily manipulation, but issues arising, votes being invalidated via the mail-in voting, absentee voting over in-person voting.
100%.
So
yeah, we know there's been issues. Absolutely, unequivocally.
So
I sorry.
No, you first.
Thank you. So my mom, right?
What's been debunked?
She is cancer survivor. She is up in the age. She's gonna go and wait in line and vote. I have immunosuppressants. I'm gonna go wait in line and vote. If you're able to,
I really respect you for that.
Adam, would you be able to check that link that Drake just sent us?
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But I think, again, as Americans, whether you think your vote is gonna count or not, or it's something that is just
what I've learned in this country is
placebo.
It has to be a fucking landslide if it really is gonna matter. Yeah. Otherwise, there's too much fuckery. As a Bernie supporter from back when, because now it's a little weak. I know the fuckery is massively afoot. I don't trust our system, and I don't even trust the two fuckers they picked.
Nope.
For a goddamn election.
Nope. Again,
I'm pissed off at my country.
Like I said,
and that's my patriotism.
I still look at it as caveman, as I still want the wrench. I still want the fuck you to the system. I don't want the establishment. I don't want the guy in there for 47 years who put into place a lot of these bills that we are now trying to reverse.
Right.
When the same party will tell you the right can't change.
What do you got, Adam?
Yet will allow someone like Biden to change no problem. Well, he's evolved. Yet do not allow this evolution. Do not grant the evolution to the opposite side. I don't like that. I don't like that kind of thinking.
Well, let me say this. Have you seen any evolution by Trump?
What do you mean? I mean in his plan for his next term, he's going to put term limits on Congress.
That was very attractive.
It's a big evolution. Yeah. He made animal abuse a felony. Mm-hmm. Obama, all Obama did was made it, if it's on video, it could be a felony.
All right.
Trump made that, he evolved it and made that to every animal. Right. Look what Trump evolved with on the China deal. Look what Trump did on how he evolved with Kim Jong-un in North Korea and the 3 Nobel Peace Prize things that he wants to get. I would say he evolved.
Okay, well, I was going more towards what you were saying is you were saying that
I feel like Chris Wallace.
they're giving the do you want to say something?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Debunking
so
thing.
on the fact check, it's one of those weird fact checks because they said it's false, but they fact checked it with 44.2 million have been proactively sent out by 10 states. It's a very specific fact check.
Can you clarify what
we're
speaking about?
What?
Okay.
So it was meant to be a fact check to Trump saying there's 80 million.
Yes. This is what Drake sent us in the chat.
But when you look at the fact check, it says that what they're saying was false. They're only saying it's false because in 10 states, 44.2 million people were proactively sent the absentee ballots.
But 80 million in total.
But no, but it didn't say 80 million in total. It didn't say the total at all, but it said but like here's what I'm surmising from that. Like if 10 states have 44 million, how do the other 40 fucking states, how is it like unthinkable that in the other 40 states there might be more than 44 come on, bro. That's
and look, was that
barely a fact.
Yeah, why are they only using 10 states to get that fact?
That is a very half-assed fact.
Cherry picking.
I mean, listen, I think that's something that we want to dive into. You know, we can't speak in definites. I mean, look
I
at.
had to click it.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta click it.
Thank you, Drake, for giving us that
little content,
that awesome content.
You gotta click it before you.
Well, we can tell which side he's on by that.
What'd you say, motherfucker? There's been some fire memes in Voice of the People, like the fight between the pedophile on Family Guy versus the Nazi slapboxing that was up there. That's perfect.
Right.
You know, Trump being the authoritarian and Biden being the child sniffer. So, you know, they should have just like kind of tested both of their mettle and like let out a child on a leash in front of Biden and see if he would have taken the bait.
They should have just like put it in the middle of the kid sitting in the middle of the stage, right? And then like take note of who looks at the kid more.
That's creepy and weird. But I mean, I'm with you, Adam, in spirit. And for Trump, what would be a better, because Trump isn't really notoriously a pedophile. So maybe put like a teen pageant USA chick to walk right past him and see if he's like, wow.
Oh yeah, so
we got the best people.
That's his base.
I know a big deal breaker for you with Trump is the Roe versus Wade thing. What are some of your concerns there? Minus, obviously, the law itself.
Well, bear in mind, when I shared those, it was for discussion here, and I only read the headlines. You know, you're good at that. You always read what's sent. So all I know is that anything that ever opposes Roe versus Wade, I'm going to be vehemently against. I think pro-choice is imperative, American, and should be available, period.
Here, this is
uncontested.
Some of the shit I got on there. This is the article you sent me. It's from BBC. President Donald Trump said it's certainly possible that a Supreme Court pick will be involved in a ruling revisiting the landmark 1973 decision that legislated abortion in the U.S. Mr. Trump said he did not discuss abortion rights with Amy Coney Barrett before choosing her for top court.
Josh, did I ever tell you I was aborted once?
Me too.
I wish it stuck.
In the middle.
But Mrs. Coney Barrett was certainly conservative in her views. She's been chosen to replace yada, yada, yada. It really doesn't say much here.
It's huge.
I mean, yeah. So what's your concern, man?
I don't want it opposed.
That's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't want
so
anybody to
what
fuck
do
with
you
it.
think? Just because they're religious, you think they might overturn it?
Oh, it's in their fucking doctrination, man. I mean, it's in their doctrine.
Yeah, I know. I definitely hear that.
Sin and law against God, man. I ain't down with that shit.
Every conservative Supreme judge that's nominated is always boiled down to
But I hear
Roe
that
versus Wade.
So when you say conservative, though, I'm
It's not notorious to be conservative and pro-choice. It's very they don't really go together.
I mean,
they're not peas and carrots.
I would disagree because I get corrected all the time that conservative isn't a right ideology. That you can have a conservative Democrat.
Agreed.
So I would very much argue that you could have a conservative who is a little more liberal in their social issues.
I'd say maybe it's more of the exception or status quo that on the right side, pro-choice is attacked.
Yeah,
I would 100% agree. Yeah, we're not talking about that. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
I'm just saying when you say conservatives, like you know.
Well, so I'll say right.
There you go.
Yeah, right wing.
So
there you go. Right wing. Right fucking wing. Yes.
But here's the thing: is that to your point that I know a very not liberal. So she calls herself Democrat, but very conservative.
Right.
She's not for abortion whatsoever, but she does believe that you should have the choice. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
I agree that you should have the choice for roughly 43 hours after you think you got knocked up. That's it. 43 hours.
Okay.
Let me share
the plan B
from a viewer, Drake,
no, I'm joking,
who's been very.
I believe you pro-choice. I'm kind of iffy on like that, like really late term
stuff.
unless it is a legit medical issue.
It can get contentious there. I know.
9 months, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah,
that
like
New York?
fucking like 13 months.
Just when you can see the feet.
That's a good point, Drake. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to read. I'm very conservative, and while it's my personal opinion is that abortion is sinful, this is the USA. My religion should not dictate U.S. politics.
Yep.
Trump is acting a little too authoritarian.
Agreed.
Word. Drake, man, where did this man come from? Like,
I don't know, but I appreciate him being here.
Are you in Russia right now?
Hey, Drake, do you mind?
This
opening
is
up
our
kisses
Russian
with
collusion.
me?
This is the perks that come with being on the right.
I want to check his profile. Let me do some homework.
I wanted to go over this real quick because this is from Business Insider. The president paid $750 in federal income taxes thanks to an element of the tax code that's working as intended.
Yeah. So to Trump's point, yes, Joe Biden and whomever was in office did pass these
Draconian,
right? And
yeah.
And are you aware that Joe Biden himself has an S corp that allows him to circumnavigate Medicare and Social Security?
I've seen your conversations.
Social
with,
Security and Medicare, and he gets to save an extra $500,000 by not paying taxes on those.
Who's that Derek Russo guy?
Nobody is upset at that. Nobody's upset, and that's what I'm saying. The same system that allows Biden to do that is the same system that is allowing Trump to get away with these tax things that some people are trying to claim as fraud, like Derek is. And
you guys had an interesting back and forth. I felt like it was pretty fair-handed on each side.
Yeah, like when you say I was like, admittedly, I'm not Trump's accountant, so I really can't tell you that they're committing fraud.
Right.
You know, it's
essentially it boils down to, I guess every election is who lesser of two evils, right?
Yeah, what are some of the bullet points here? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that
and again,
go ahead.
I'll just say it says on Sunday night, the New York Times reported that the President Donald Trump had just paid $750 in federal income tax in 2016. By the way, in that same article, it mentions that he paid $5.2 million. So
between 2016.
Yeah, no. In the same article that has the headline that Trump only paid $750, which they didn't mention was tax liability, which is like overpaying, which is like,
Which
you don't have to do that.
He still did it.
Here's some talking points I want to use. Just
hang on 1 second though, but that the tax code allows this. The loss carry forward provision allows business owners to cancel out tax liability in future years by carrying over losses from previous years. He could, when he goes bankrupt, when he doesn't perform, these losses will carry over. He doesn't owe the government much.
Right.
He paid $750.
Right.
He overpaid.
I see what you're saying.
All right, so here's where
that's pretty nutty, bro.
I read the exchange. Panjo, keep your ears peeled for this one. All right, so Josh did speak to this well-informed guy, Derek. I don't know much about him. I know I wanted to get him involved with the show.
He blocked Vlad.
Fuck Vlad. He paid Vlad. Oh, not what? Oh, I meant Vlad, my old buddy that I choked.
No.
No, not Vlad with a W. Wallowad. Right. No, he's cool. All right, he paid $0 in federal taxes 10 times in 15 years because of tax fraud, not because of the system. And the system isn't allowing it. He is committing crimes.
He's just saying words. Right.
Joe Biden is doing what you are trying to say that
Can you
Trump
fill in
does.
my parts if you're going to just...
Oh, I mean, I thought you were here and doing that. But okay, I will, of course.
I mean,
upon request.
Yeah, I don't know
all right,
what
so,
he's responding to,
So, all right, so we're going to he paid $0 in federal. Josh retorts, I mean, that's how taxes work. If you're reporting losses at a greater rate than you make in profits, I still hold fault at the system that allows it. Are you mad at Joe Biden for the S corp thing that you mentioned? That saves him $500,000?
And by the way, he doesn't answer it. Mention that he won't answer that question that I asked him. The same thing that he's trying to accuse Trump on, Biden is doing.
Get your lullaby.
Yet he doesn't answer it.
Okay, so I'm going to finish your statement here. You're mad at Joe Biden, or are you mad at Joe Biden or the system that he uses an S corp to evade paying Medicare and Social Security? Saves him about $500,000 a year. Shrug. And then Derek says the system isn't allowing it. He's committing crimes. Josh, Joe Biden is committing crimes. Time will tell if Trump is committing tax fraud. If he is, I hope he gets his just desserts. And Derek says, Joe Biden is doing what you are trying to say that Trump does, take advantage of a tax code in a way that is currently legal, although amoral. There's a problem there. Right there, I'm going to identify. I mean, if it's legal, amoral, whatever, ain't going to hold him in court. And to finish, Trump is committing tax fraud. These are not the same. Josh, what is Trump doing differently other than taking advantage of tax code? Honest question. I know he has been under audit for a $72 million tax refund, and I think it's coming to a close here. Derek, he inflates the value of his income and assets in order to get loans. Then he deflates their value and exaggerates losses.
No,
I
you're
mean,
literally like that's not.
And then Lindsay dropped a link. She popped up there. I didn't see that until now, 2 hours ago. Admittedly, this is the final thing that Josh said, and it ends there until Lindsay added AOC's grilling of Michael Cohen. Okay. Admittedly, I'm not his accountant, but if that is, in fact, what he's doing, that's no bueno. It was just disingenuous of the New York Times to lead with him only paying $750.
Yeah, that was my main point.
That was, in fact, his tax liability. He paid $5.2 million.
Yeah. Yep. That was only my main point.
Which just goes with the theme of like he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't, because like he did the right thing with his taxes and then he went above and beyond and paid like the liability thing he doesn't have to pay. And people are like, he didn't pay his fucking taxes. Look at this fucking cocksucker. And it's like, no, he paid like more taxes than you did probably. Like,
it just makes me like they're relentless and draining a tax on him makes me want to vote for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't want people that manipulative.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's manipulation on both parts, but I
just don't like bullies.
What would you say to this comment, guys? By getting loans and then controlling the numbers to not pay back, that's socialism.
Ooh.
I didn't think of that. That's Drake. That's all you, baby.
That's interesting. Say it again.
Drake says by getting loans and then controlling the numbers to not pay back.
I'm sorry, I just posted the Business
Socialism.
Insider.
That's really
Controlling the numbers
Socialism.
and not paying back.
Socialism.
That's interesting.
Wait, so
I understand. Is he saying that's bad?
is
like
it
it.
bad if you get a loan?
I thought socialism is cool. I don't understand.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Drake's of that caliber of the lefty. He's
I mean,
not
but that's
radical.
again, that's just the tax system. That's what you can do to.
You can't control. He's saying that he's
Man,
able to
I read
control.
the fucking comment.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what more I can do.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't
he's
do
saying-
I would
no
love.
less.
Let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
Like, are people mad that Trump's doing things that they can go out and do, but they literally just don't go out and do it?
Watch this. I love
don't
Greg
think so.
Gutfeld. He's he used to do Red Eye, and his opening comments here, I believe this is the one.
I recognize this guy.
His opening comments I think are good. Check it out real quick. It's only just a few minutes.
Another day, another bombshell that lands with a thud. Imagine a loaf of bread hitting the pavement from the roof of your house. That's the New York Times report on Trump's old tax returns. Oh, Pillsbury Cronkite, is this one of the most important stories of the past 5 years?
This is one of the most important stories of the past 5 years. Not one of the most important stories of this year, but one of the most important stories of the past 5 years.
I'd say his hair is on fire, but too late for that.
Oh,
now that this story involves numbers, it's hard on the media. They couldn't tally a 20% tip on a dollar beer. But sorry, guys, no laws were broken. And sorry, CNN, no signs of Russia here. Because if there were either of those, that would have been the lead. Instead, it's Trump knows taxes. Trump said it long ago, if you don't follow the tax laws, you're stupid. Because the alternative is to make stuff up and send extra cash to Uncle Sam, who pay people like Biden to nap.
Very patriotic.
Here's a tip. When you own real estate, depreciation and maintenance can outpace the rent you get. You deduct that. And it's your accountant's duty not to cure inequality, but to legally keep as much of your cash as possible.
That's the job.
The media assumes you won't know this. I didn't for the longest time. I had to educate myself on taxes, mortgages, and loans. I didn't learn it at school, but I did learn that Moby Dick had homoerotic underpinnings.
Wow.
Bottom line,
What a
anyone who pays
philosophizer.
more than legally owed is an idiot. If you want to pay more, fine, write the check, sucker. But what's the bigger story for you? that this lame story lands a day before the biggest debate ever. It's a collusion of bombshells dropped by the powerful to sway an election. But as Gramps once said about failed courtships, Trump stories are like buses. You miss one, there's another coming in 15 minutes. Except now it's every 15 seconds, and all of them are lighter than air. So, Dana.
I love the fucking Greg Gutfield. He, Red Eye, he would let all comedians on, like everyone had a voice, he was very quippy like that.
That's Adam Carolla was on that, right?
Yeah.
Love Adam Carolla.
But they nixed Red Eye.
This just reminded me of the court hearing, the article I read about the court hearing about Tucker Carlson. Apparently, the Fox News's attorneys had to make the argument and won with this argument.
Well, yeah, there's a couple different narratives going on here. Like Tucker News isn't real news, haha, and like Slate News doesn't take into account that Fox News was the one that argued, literally these are opinion makers. They're not saying this. They're giving their opinion.
Some of the direct quotes of these attorneys for Fox News and Tucker Carlson was that any common sense viewer would know that, not to take him seriously, which I find to be hilarious because everybody takes him seriously as fuck.
I mean, listen, no, but they have facts, but they're presenting these facts as opinions. So, the problem is what a lot of people do is they'll kind of use what that person is saying as their new monologue themselves without really knowing what it means to say that. You know what I mean? Like, so
you didn't go out and research it. You didn't get the information. You just
what they're claiming as facts is the literal transcripts of his opinion, and that's not the case. It's just him giving his opinion.
I mean, I'd love to actually now pull up the quotes because I think they're a little more damaging, to the viewer, especially. It was like, if you're saying, this man ain't talking facts, he's giving his opinion on the facts, but still, I just find it.
He knows the viewers are smarter than that to form your own opinion. It says something like that.
That's what the attorneys are saying.
Yeah,
I don't think they're all as smart as they're giving them credit for.
No, but that's what the attorneys argued, and they won it.
But he's. If he's listening,
because what's her face was trying to sue because
one of the story
he did porn star
about,
yeah.
Well, if this man's going on television just obviously stating his opinion and saying there's facts to base his opinion on,
right?
Yeah, he's doing them, and those facts don't actually exist. Yeah, then that's obviously a problem. But again,
to me, it was like they just gave him a fucking pass to continue to do his bullshit, and I don't know, and I support what he does. He has his voice,
yeah.
But it's funny what the attorneys had to argue with to persuade the jury.
Yeah, well, it is misleading to be like, no, we're called Fox News. Okay, so everything on your show is going to be news, right? And then you have opinions.
Okay, same thing with CNN, same thing with MSNBC.
100%.
We hate them all.
Don Lemon, Jake Tapper, they're all fucking opinion based.
Right.
They're talking
but
heads.
They do. But recently, I've noticed that people on news networks, or at least on Fox, have started to say this is my opinion.
Recently, I haven't watched that network shit in a hot fucking
That's
minute.
like a staple in my house, man. If I walk past the kitchen, Fox News.
Here, let's see. We'll pull up. So this is I think I trust Business Insider a little more because they're
business.
It's both sides.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Fiery from the.
Oh boy.
Fiery.
Oh boy. We're crashing and burning.
Why? What?
No, it's just
I'm looking for all the fucking
Joe. I think definitely felt good about this debate.
Oh, I bet you he's
for sure.
I definitely think. Okay, so let's read some.
He's checking if his little buddy is awake tonight.
A federal judge on Thursday dismissed a lawsuit against Fox News after lawyers for the network argued that no reasonable viewer would take the network's primetime star Tucker Carlson seriously. The former Playboy model Karen McDougal filed a defamation suit against Fox, alleging that Carlson slandered her during a December 2018 episode of the show. The network asked a judge to dismiss the case, arguing that Carlson's statements were no statements of fact. Were not statements of fact, and that the failed adequacy. What?
Adequately to
fail. I can barely see it.
To allege actual malice. The judge agreed with Fox's premise, adding that the network persuasively argues that given Mr. Carlson's reputation, any reasonable viewer arrives with an appropriate amount of skepticism about the statements that he makes. Carlson has long made racist and controversial statements as a primetime host on Fox News and has lost several advertisers because of it. Get the inside track on the race for the White House with Business Insider's DC.
No,
Bureau.
man, that's the
why
ad.
you plugging, bro? Don't plug, bro. Dude, are you high?
On life, bro.
On life.
By the way, Drake again, man, spitting that hot fire. I don't know. I didn't even finish. After 10 plus years in law enforcement, so yes, he was a cop. 10 years. I've arrested thousands of people. Common sense is becoming more rare these days, and that makes people vulnerable to the news in general.
After 47
Agreed.
years in politics, like I just think Joe Biden has nothing to offer. I'd rather take the guy who's new to it.
Yeah, I don't.
It really comes down to shit like that.
I don't like Biden, but I like.
So who's your alternative to Trump?
Look, I've articulated. Oh yeah, no, and realistically, I wish I love that.
That felt so good. I would have voted for her, no problem.
I don't even like Joe Jurgensen's fucking platform. I wish she would have been able to speak. I hate the two-party paradigm we're stuck in. We're not gonna really get any fucking progress. We're gonna keep playing to the system, and I would choose Trump over Biden. However, after him just obviously having the chances Adam illustrated and articulated, very disappointed, and I hope he really comes out strong whenever these headlines start going, because they're gonna come real quick.
They're coming.
But right now, I lost a lot of steam for
what
the motivation he gave me.
Do they have debates when they're doing the primaries? When they're all on the podium, is that considered a debate as well, or no? Like, is that just like that kind of that?
I mean, it's called a debate. I wouldn't consider it a debate.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it is called.
So,
a
like,
debate
how would
alone.
we? So would, for instance, the Green Party have to have their own primary? Like, how would we get to a point where we could now include a third party here? Because then there would have to be a process to then elect that third party. So what would we do? Like, we'd have a third party primary, and who would that be able to get to? Like, the third party primary would have to consist of two different party ideologies.
You got your Libertarian and you got your Green Party.
You got your independents.
Are those that different from each other?
Yes. The Libertarian versus the Green
Libertarians
Party.
just literally don't give a fuck about anything, and I lean way more libertarian than anything.
I like the Green Party more.
I've seen a lot of libertarians be very, very anarchistic.
Well, I mean, it literally is like, dude, do what you want. Just it doesn't affect me.
Oh, I'm not arguing.
No, I'm saying, but that idea can go to become destructive easily.
Drake, I am shocked. You were hoping for Rand Paul. I was all for Ron Paul. He was my first political hero when I got involved in politics and volunteering. But Rand Paul, man, he's so far from his father.
So Drake, listen, Drake, you want to call in? Because I'm very interested. You're voting for you wanted Rand Paul.
And put up that number. I'd love some.
Now we have now you're voting blue no matter who, and that's interesting. So if you do want to call, give the show line a call, 954-399-3631. We're taking phone calls. We're chilling here post presidential debate, stuck in the middle. This is the last show for the week. I don't think we're doing a Wednesday show.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Drake, I really just...
We only got two in us.
I want Drake to prove he's not a bot. I know he's not, but, I'm being facetious here, but, Drake blinked twice and...
Rand Paul in the RNC.
Rand Paul in the... And
I'm so curious about what you were saying.
Panda says yes, Drake, call in.
Yep,
go ahead.
Drake.
What are you curious?
I was curious about what you were saying.
Curious?
I was really... I'm thinking more long-term, right? Who am I going to vote?
The Democrats don't think long-term.
Yeah, so... But I like what you said about Trump and setting, you said
term limits
on Congress, right?
Yes,
sir.
That's very progressive.
Damn it.
What,
Damn it.
Are you Bidening and
That's
Trumping?
very progressive.
Well, listen, that's something that I've
It's
lived
sexy.
in for very long time.
Biden is like, listen, we need to buy American. His platform is literally Trump's platform right now.
You know what?
He's making everything come back to us. We are literally an exporter of oil. We do not rely on Saudi Arabia.
Right.
I love the idea of going green and like helping, but why are we allowing everyone else to make money off what we have right now?
Right.
Because either way, someone's going to make money off of it.
I do.
You know what I mean? And you know for a fact that until it's all gone, we're never going to be completely off of it.
With that,
So why give somebody else the upper hand? I'm sorry to keep cutting you off.
no. With that point echoed, I mean, that's why I want to remind the audience just how proud I was of Trump before COVID. COVID really fucked up the momentum. We could have really had something crazy. All right, and you know, I'm done with re-articulating this point, but it's important right now. He made it finally so in all the history of our fucking presidents, with China of all people, he made it so we could retain our fucking patents. We invent something, no Chinese knockoffs, jobs stay here, money comes into the country, then COVID happens, all fucked to shit. So the tariff war we went through,
Yes, Panda, one day
that fucking
caller.
hurt really hard, but it was for a reason. It was a long-term game thing.
Yeah.
But now, since COVID fucked it up, you can shit on it.
Everyone that was bitching about like those tariffs were people that had money invested in Chinese companies.
Yep, 100%.
And all the companies that went overseas, a lot of those politicians invested in those companies.
Yes.
Because they got incentives to go over there.
Yes, Panda has a phone sex voice. Adam.
My old business
I
partner
see you.
specifically had lots of money invested in China, right?
I bet.
And the minute tariffs, I could not hear the end of it, and how fucked he was because of this.
When I was working for the hurricane shutter industry, I got to see all of the pricing on aluminum and you know, all the metals.
The vape industry, the smoke shop industry, a lot of the stuff comes from China. When you have an idea, Drew says he has to go to sleep. He has a morning shift at 5 a.m. for Miami PD.
Drake.
Your show is awesome, very insightful. Just wish y'all had a Democrat voice.
Hey,
also, Drake
bro.
Smith isn't
Whoa.
my real name. I use it online
I get
because since Antifa is attacking cops, I have to use a false moniker. You kids stay safe. You too, Drake.
I'm Bernie Sanders inspired progressive, okay? I like the pack. I like the squad. Ilhan Omar.
Drake,
Ocasio-Cortez.
Drake, by the way, too, it's not that we're a right voice. I myself, I don't
Josh sounds
identify
like a righty.
as right. I'm very disappointed in a lot of the left's tactics right now, so I'm just simply calling them out. So I know it comes that way. I literally repeat this day in and day out. Everyone else is probably tired of it. Everyone else probably doesn't believe me, but I promise you, I know who I am.
Registered independent here.
Yeah, same here.
I think I'm a
Fuck
registered
you.
conservative, Republican.
Fuck you guys, right?
I didn't get to vote for Bernie in the primaries.
Oh,
unfortunately.
That hurts a little bit. But
No, it hurt me
the
too.
DNC fuckery that happened, like, and
No, that's exactly what
cannot
happened.
stand the people. Like, I'll even call them out. Alex Petro. When we met, we had a whole debate. It was very civil. And Eric Broadway, like, they've pigeonholed me into a corner where I have to defend somebody that's no longer my hero, but created a movement that I respect.
You know why I call the Democrats short-sighted? Because they do moves like essentially what granted Trump the power to appoint all the judges he's appointed. In 2013 or 2016, 2013, when Obama was trying to get the Supreme Court justice appointed, and Harry fucking Reid, they essentially, it used to be a supermajority. The supermajority would appoint a judge, and they made it essentially the president had the power to appoint it with a majority of it. So they lowered what was required because they were thinking short term.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now what they wanted is coming back to bite them in the ass just a few years later. They do this time and time again.
Right. It's karmic.
Yeah,
a small stake.
It very is. And then they get upset about it, right? Just like they got upset at Mitch McConnell. And
Fuck
granted,
that guy.
it's the same way around, but I'm just using them because naturally, right, I'm Josh. So just like they got upset at Mitch McConnell for blocking that Supreme Court justice vote, they now want to do the same thing.
Tit for tat.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a bunch of hypocrites.
I was angry then, and I'm angry now.
And then vice versa. Just as Mitch McConnell then, which I disagreed with him then, I think that was the whole role of the Supreme Court. Just because the president was a Democrat and the majority of the House, the Supreme Court was like Republican at the time, knowing that it was going to be shut down, that pick would be shut down.
Right.
Well, that's what would have happened.
You're a dog-faced pony soldier.
Big deal. That's what would have happened, right?
Yes.
So I'm
What's up,
against
Sonny
it
and
then.
Harry? Welcome.
So you should just want it in now. Like it's happened 29 times over the course of America's history.
Right.
Have we changed Supreme Court justices during an election or around an election? Like it's nothing new.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say.
And they didn't like it. They were pissed at it then, and now they're doing it now. They're trying to block it now.
And I was pissed then, and I'm pissed now, and that's all I've ever wanted to express.
All I care about is consistency. When you're consistent, there's not much to call you out on. Oh shit, you've hated Trump then, you hate him now, this and that and everything. Man, oh shit, yeah. Well then, yeah, there you go. But if you're like on this side and then you're on this side, it like hypocrisy. And granted, listen, Trump is probably one of the biggest hypocrites out there. But I do my best to call him out on it. But everyone else usually beats me to it. I don't feel the need to hack and repeat the majority of the shit that,
You know what?
What do you think?
Sorry, I'm taking it first. In all honesty, when we embarked on this journey that is stuck in the middle, I accepted that and believed in it through and through. Here we are, episode 60.
Yep.
60. And now
61.
I feel like 61. Now I feel like, okay, I feel like in our very own platform, even though everybody else is doing it, we need to try
Okay, let me ask you. I'm 1/3 of the show.
Yeah.
Where's your anti-Trump posts in the chat? Why am I the only one that has to bring it
I
up?
have done my anti-Trump posts.
Right, and we've spoken about it. So
Yeah,
I don't understand the issue.
Well, I didn't even get to finish my fucking
Okay, go
sentence. And now I've kind of forgot. But I mean,
bud.
I was just, I was just saying, yeah, no, like I believed in that like for a very long time, like fucking 50 some odd episodes, and until I started to just look, reflect, assess at I don't know, outside comments and feeling how I feel on the inside.
A lot of those outside comments
I
came from people from the left.
I feel like either or whichever, sure, most definitely. But I have felt like we have so often shit on the left because, we have accepted that's what the media does. No, the media shits on the right all the time, so we shit on the media.
Here. Yeah, we're balanced.
But it feels unbalanced
when
at
the
this
right
point.
shits on the left, when the left gets in, we'll be shitting on the right.
I'm just saying it has been a feeling that I haven't articulated too much. That I feel like all we do sometimes is shit.
But
on
then
the left.
you obviously feel guilty
try.
with that because you're 1/3 of the show and you don't bring up stuff that bashes the right too much.
Dude, man, I pull what I've been able to only recently, really. Like
and everything I put in the
Trump,
notes.
The Trump and the Roe v. Wade. Ooh.
Well, were you guys? Let me ask you this question because I think this is my.
This is just like for show. Yeah.
Well, this is my perception is that you guys were legitimately Democrats at one point in your life, right? Yes.
I mean, I would say I was more liberal than Democrat, but I was left. Yeah, I don't consider myself not left.
I was a registered independent, but I became a Democrat for the Bernie's primary.
So maybe you guys are just hypercritical on maybe not hyper, but more critical on the left because you may have sided with them more, and so you have something.
I'll tell
you
you
have history with them to be more critical about.
I'm very familiar with the premise here.
I'll tell you exactly why I am hypercritical of the left.
With it.
Because nobody else is.
They're disingenuous.
Okay. Only the right, and if you're person on the right and you're hypercritical, not hypocritical, hypercritical of the left, you're just a crazy right person. So your claims aren't taken seriously. And a lot of people on the left don't criticize the left, and it does the left no good. So I'm not going to be bullied into being told that I'm a conservative, that I'm a Republican, just because I choose to identify certain things.
Yeah. Well, again, that's what political ideology.
I just feel like when like from the past 5-10 episodes, when we come in here and do our thing, it feels like the scope is aimed at the left. but they've also made themselves the largest target. I accept
That's
that.
another point.
I totally fucking accept that. Man.
Again, like they're out. They put themselves
Look,
out there.
and you know, like me sharing it or lack of sharing.
But
I'm doing
not
it now.
only do they put themselves
I'm
out
doing it
there,
now.
they are the ones that claim that they are the most righteous.
Yes. So
the right isn't going around claiming that they are like, this, I know better, I'm social justice, you can't say this, you can't say that, I know the good and evil.
They pull that disingenuous intellectual bullshit, but the right maintains that evangelical righteousness shit.
I mean,
and yes,
not everybody
I
on the
do
right.
fucking conflate
A lot of
the
people-
evangelical
right.
base with the fucking right.
A lot of people
I can't
on the
stand
right
that.
are just literally small
conservative
government.
and want smaller government.
I don't want a lot of government,
I'm cool with that.
that's what they say. I don't want a lot of government overreach.
I want more regulation on certain things, like which I always go back to the European model, democratic socialism, where companies are penalized for the tax loopholes or using offshore banking, things like that.
Something to fix the system, not be mad at people or make false claims about people who use the system to their advantage.
Right. Hate the fucking game.
Because not once was it brought up about Joe Biden's S Corp.
That's what I was right.
Well, because that wasn't a headline on the New
Correct.
York,
Because there's a narrative there because a lot of the media is against Trump,
but isn't
the left.
Isn't it
so
Trump's responsibility when he's in front of all these people? He should bring these things up.
I want to welcome and thank Brittany.
He
Brittany
can't,
for,
though.
for
Like-
joining us. She doesn't join us very much. She says the right, when she says they claim they're the party of family values, though. And she's right, right? She is.
yeah, they do.
right,
I
dude.
mean, I would definitely say the right wants to instill the nuclear family back in a lot of homes. They're a big proponent of that. Whereas a lot
the
of people,
traditional family.
well, yeah,
And that notion has been combated by the left. You know what a traditional family
right,
is.
just because
but
of
identity politics becomes
right because of
nuanced.
identity politics. That's it.
And
You can still have a traditional family with different whatever. Go for it. It's just the fact that you have two parental roles.
Can I a little levity? Can I talk about an experience today, guys? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
But
You know how it goes at my fucking shop, okay, at CVS Corp.
Yep.
This fucking guy I've known
Civis.
for years. He's a customer, a regular customer at Tubby's. Go find him, hunt him down. He came up to me and, he's going to whisper. He's going to tell me some shit. He's like, come on, I can tell you this shit, man, all right? We started talking politics, the
right.
debate. I told him about the show. He's well aware of it. And he's like,
Right.
He leans in and, look, he's very pro-Trump. And I'm not trying to conflate what he says or his views with Trump at all.
Right.
But he's like, man, these blacks, they're all crazy and full of shit.
Oh,
I
dude,
was like,
for
holy!
sure.
I was like, dude, what the? Are you? I've known you for 4 years. You're coming at me with this shit right now. What makes you feel that comfortable around me to say that? Like that was
so do you
fucking
blame
disgusting.
his comfortability on Trump? Is that what you're hinting towards?
No,
or-
not at all. I just wanted to share that because it's content.
I will say that I will maybe blame a little bit on him because again, it's something in that instance. If we're critiquing that instance, I would say that was a dumb move not to
Stupid.
just give the most simplest of an answer. Yes, I condone it. That was so easy to do, and
Trump could have been like, "Yeah, I totally condone white supremacy, and it's all gravy, baby."
Wow, but he didn't. He went off on he did the
tangent.
whole Trump thing.
He did a big. I don't know what the fuck he did.
I go back to the times he did, and I go back to the KKK terrorist thing. To me, actions speak louder than words. This is debate one. If we're judging it by that, yes, in the moment it was bad. It doesn't change my opinion on his views, though. That was one. I have to watch it again.
Good night, Ariel, and you're more than welcome. She said, "Been in and out of this. Thanks for airing the debate off the bed." Thank you, Ariel.
Good night, Ariel.
You are one of my midwives, so thank you. And Adam will never, not this Adam, Adam Siegler, whatever the fuck his name is, will never take you away. Nisha is also my wife.
Nisha, I always agree. She says 2 parental roles is ideal, but not always easily attainable or achievable. 100%.
True. I feel like Eli doesn't know what a midwife is.
Remember when Lyndon Johnson,
I do.
When Lyndon Johnson became president, the single mother rate in the black community. Adam, can you look this up? Single mother rate in black community after Lyndon Johnson was president.
You missed
the number is staggering.
He was just gyrating and emulating childbirth,
because he made incentives for single moms. So he made incentives to disassemble the family.
Johnny disassemble. Dad, are you still watching?
Are you familiar with these laws?
Drop a comment, Dad, if you're watching, because it says
I've
you're
heard.
watching.
Eli, are you familiar with the law?
What law?
Because it seems like you're zoning off. What
No,
I'm talking
I
about.
get involved in the chat, man. This
I
happens
know.
a lot.
I know, but you know what I'm
Unless we
talking
had
about.
more people to help in the chat. No, you'd have to repeat it again.
The laws that Lyndon B. Johnson established that made the single mother rate skyrocket in the black community.
Yeah, man. And we talked about that with Ivan.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's in, he just got down in Chi-Town, Chicago. He's got some
What were
parts
you
in a
asking,
movie, by the way.
percentage rate?
Yeah, like before and after.
So after it's wait, no, it's saying poverty rate.
You're losing me, Adam.
But the after rate is
67. 77. I believe it was somewhere in the teens.
And I believe I
like
can fly.
17%, and it went up to 77%.
11%.
11%.
And then
11%.
In 1938, this is what the whole sentence says. In 1938,
You're a
that
whole
rate
sentence.
stood at 11%. Still, it's worth noting the difference between the slow and steady increase of 1938 to 1965 and the explosive growth from 1965 until the present day. In any event, black women were more likely to be
Susan.
married than white women as late as 1950.
Word, yep. Is that the end of the story?
Yep, that's
All
the
right,
end.
word.
Okay, I thought there was numbers in there.
And then the Whelans traveled from Ellis Island to the States and saved the world.
Well,
With the crest
11%
of
to
E.
77%.
Where are
I
you
would
getting these
definitely-
noodles from, bro? Do you have crotch noodles? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Pandrew's
Noodles
just
just
sitting
came
here,
out of his crotch.
Pandrew's sitting here chomping on some foodies.
I have starved myself to go to work and come straight here. I changed, by the way, mid-drive.
Did
I had
you?
to
Would you
rip
change
my
into
shirt off.
worse clothes?
Actually, fuck you. No, this was Biden and Trump to me. Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. I was like, yep, that seems just like the
Did you
debate
see
tonight.
the initial post I posted about the anal bead tug of war?
That
to
was
me,
Duke's.
this was what. No, well, I posted it though. I wasn't necessarily Duke's.
No, he owned it and you stole it, okay?
No,
So,
not whatsoever. He stole it from a friend I know.
No, Duke's an originator, okay?
No.
He's
No,
an
no, no,
innovator.
he was a performer.
No, I saw it, and it's in California, and everybody check it out. There's an anal bead tug of war. I want your crotch noodles.
No, that's what happened
Is there a
tonight, man.
tournament?
There is like an anal bead tournament.
Is it aired
Tug
on
of war.
what channel?
I don't
Do you
think it's gonna
think,
get airtime.
What do you guys think? Was Chris Wallace fair with both of them? I know you guys were saying at one point.
He had a little bias. You're like, yeah, I gotta call it out, man. It
He was
seems like
sucking
he
Biden's
was
dick a little bit.
totally doing that, and he had to rightfully
little
kind of
bit.
slap Trump on the behind and
But
be
then
like,
he didn't
no.
slap Biden for doing those sly ass fucking jabs
And he'd
at the
give,
beginning
like-
of every answer.
And he'd give like little signals to one another. They like had a little bromance formulating before.
Yep.
Their sex tape is coming out in 2 years.
It's so what I learned from that debate is it's okay for Joe Biden to go off topic, but the second Trump does it, he gets interrupted.
And just like Twitter and Facebook have said, if Joe Biden declares early victory, it's okay. But if Trump does, well, Josh,
I think
are you
that-
listening? Or are you
Not okay.
veering
man.
up?
It's not okay if he doesn't.
I hope the rest of the debates go like that so that everyone sees like
Here-
the puppet strings, bro. Like I want people to see the strings.
I want people to do that, and I think you're going to share in this hope that Trump, after the damage of his moment tonight, he will come out, I hope, swinging and say, I just want to address a little confusion or whatever. I completely disavow white supremacy
I
as
tell
a
you-
thing.
I do think.
Where are you living, bro?
I do
Not
think.
reality.
I do. I mean, listen, Banjo. He's done it before, quite literally. Like in Charlottesville, the next day he came out and said he denounces white supremacy, the KKK.
Both fine people.
He's not gonna take back anything he said from that debate.
No, he was not going to take
All
back.
right.
He's going to add on.
Can you tell me where you got those noodles besides your crotch? Like where did you get them?
Hard Rock.
Hard Rock. Hard Rock has
terrible.
noodles?
Yeah, it's fucking
I didn't know.
Asian market.
Here, watch this. This lady's pissed off as shit.
Oh yeah.
You seen this?
I love our video breakdowns. They're fucking awesome.
This is what happens when emotion takes over. This is what I see. This is what I see on Facebook all the time. People get ahead of themselves if you start to talk about Trump, and they just fucking stick their head out the window and they gas it.
I love it.
yeah. Can I get a clarification of why she just did that? Again, I didn't. I read the chat again.
I don't know if it's 100% true, but it says she's flicking off Trump supporters.
Oh, okay.
She's there flicking off Trump. I mean, I'm sure they're egging her on too. But
oh yeah, no,
it's funny that she wasn't looking in front of her while she was in a moving vehicle.
That's a doozy.
I just wanted to continue the left hate vibe train that I was bringing.
Yeah, stop that. And also,
never.
Real quick,
never.
Did you see the footage and the little exchange between Brock and Kennedy, and that footage that was released from the body cam from the grand jury got to see regarding bacon and tomato? We can't. I don't know. I'm afraid to say the name because we get kicked.
No. I didn't even get that. I saw that you guys were kind of having a back and forth too about it.
I feel like I won. Like I legit I never look at it like win or lose, but I mean,
so what does the tape
footage
show? Yeah.
Okay, so you have the man that is a part of the shooting.
See if I have that link.
I have the video right there. Yeah, I sent it to the proper chats. Okay, so it has the officer that's involved in the shooting and the Brock corrected me, not the murder, but the homicide. Huge difference.
Huge.
And he got to just hang around while people got to tell him, you shouldn't be here, you should get out. He's like, oh, is that casing one of ours? And whatever. He just got to lackadaisically just kind of peruse around the crime scene.
So one of them who shot, like, which one is it? Do you know?
I don't know which exactly fucking one, but it's a biggin. And also, they didn't separate these three officers just like they would, and this is what I mentioned in the comments. You liked one of them. When we get detained by officers after some crime goes down, we're all separated. They weren't fucking separated, period, for a good amount of time.
And they weren't removed from the crime scene after it happened, correct?
And this one guy is literally inside the crime scene. They're like, dude, we should wait for ICPU or whatever the fuck, to do their proper investigation. He's like, with his flashlight, oh shit, is that a case? Is that one of mine? No.
Amy Goodman says video footage also shows Detective Hankinson lingers in Taylor's apartment even after he's told to leave the scene of the active investigation of an officer-involved shooting
20 minutes.
in which he is one of the officers. It also shows that none of the officers who were part of the raid got separated or paired with an escort. This comes as ballistics report from the Kentucky State Police was unable to determine that Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, shot Officer John Mattingly, as he's been claimed to have... Wait.
Check the video out, bro. I sent it to the topics.
I mean, how else would he get shot in the leg?
What? No, what was the statement? I was listening, but...
I mean, it is called democracynow.org, so it might have a little bias to it.
But watch the video.
This comes as ballistics from report. Kentucky State Police was unable to determine that Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, shot Officer John Mattingly. As he's been claimed to have done by Kentucky Attorney General, or if Mattingly was hit by friendly fire during the raid. Walker fired a warning shot at the front door. Come on. He fired a warning shot. I mean, they're being...
He did fire a warning shot. No, he really did. That was on the that was on the transcript.
That wasn't a warning shot. He fired at somebody breaking into his house. They're being nice.
He fired. I think he fires at the fucking officers.
There's no video cam footage of the incident.
Okay, you didn't hear anything that I said. Today they released footage, body cam footage, that was only available to the grand jury.
Right.
I would love to play that.
Oh, so there's actually footage of the incident.
Not the it's where while the guy's perusing with the people.
So what I'm saying though, this is saying that in the moment, this is saying that Kenneth Walker fired a warning shot. I feel like that's disingenuous because when the officer busts into the front door after knocking, that's when the officer, the one who came into the front door, got shot.
Hit in the femoral artery.
That guy fired a shot at him. It's acting as if Kenneth Walker fired up in the air, and the guy got hit in the leg by one of the officers behind him.
Look, I have an issue with all the framing and all that. I just want to play the footage if we're...
Yeah, I know, but you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yes.
I want to correct one because I just kind of read that, and I definitely disagree that the guy who got hit in his femoral artery...
There was a warning shot.
What are you talking about?
He did have a...
Kenneth Walker fired one shot. That's it. He fired one shot.
Oh, okay. So
we fired one shot.
I may absolutely stand corrected.
They fired all the other shots.
He only fired one shot.
One shot.
Okay.
That one shot hit Mattingly.
Did ballistics prove it was
in the federal?
Walker's bullet?
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what they're saying by saying that Kentucky reports from Kentucky State Police was unable to determine that Taylor's boyfriend shot Jonathan Mattingly. It's trying to say that it could have been from friendly fire, and it's just what?
Well, all right.
He's like behind. He's in front of them.
So,
They're not
I'll
coming from behind the house.
Entertain the possibility, like 99%. Hell, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I just tail of the tape real quick.
Yeah, but the tape doesn't show this. What we're breaking down.
No, man.
Yeah.
It's after. It's it's a breach of the public trust and protocol.
I've already brought up to you. That's why I brought up those two videos that show officers telling the other person who was just involved in the shooting to please leave.
Oh, no question.
I know that this video is going to show what I was talking about, that they linger for 20 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
No, we're on the same.
What else does the video show besides proving what we said yesterday, right?
I just think it's because it's just been released. I think it's fascinating to release to the public.
Right.
Just to see it. And the fact that I had two people that support the police, blue no matter who, and they wouldn't admit that what they're seeing is a breach in protocol procedure, that pissed me off.
I mean, yeah, that's I think what was that happening yesterday about
that was today before I went to work.
No, I mean on the show. Like was that happening yesterday where was Broccoli denying that that there was no improper procedure done, like the cops were cool there?
Yeah, Brock, even after seeing the footage, was like, nothing wrong was done. Bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I brought up those two videos yesterday.
Yep.
That specifically showed
one of my
in each
favorite
instance.
bits.
Not only did it show the humanity in the officers because they broke down crying after they shot these people, but the responding officers opposite to them instructed the officer in the shooting to leave, back up.
Look how racist Trump is real quick from his younger years.
Yeah, very racist. Same thing with Amy Barron Cohen. Amy
Barron
Cohen Barrett. Wow.
That
was a little.
That's Trump showing a little. Whoa, that chick's like got no pants on. All right.
Oh man, I don't know.
I got some voice of the people stuff after the video.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's really it. Fuck it. It's just gonna show. She's just talking. I don't know really. I don't want to get taken down for some stupid.
Okay.
Video.
Okay, that motivation I understand. I did post it in Voice of the People. Miami Mike Radio listeners,
there's
everybody.
no Miami Mike Radio. Remember, Karen Stacy's on tonight. Yeah.
All right, so listeners and watchers of my fine ass, just go ahead and find the video, and you'll see some fuckery. By the way, what do you think of Shadow Man doing that whole dedication post?
That was fucked up. I didn't even comment on it because I didn't think it even deserved. Like, I don't think
Adam did well. Adam did very well.
Adam did well. I would choose just to stick away from it. I commented on Brock's thank you post.
I do believe in not always engaging with that level of emotion.
It wasn't going to go
Sometimes
anywhere.
It's called for it, right? Sometimes it's unnecessary.
Can you explain to the audience what the post was?
Adam did it. I think Adam. I want to just give you my hats off to you, good sir. You articulated.
Can you explain to the audience what the post was?
Yeah, I gotta. I'm actually scrolling real time. I see some great posts.
Because as you know, Brock is quite
advocate for the police.
Advocate for the police. So some people really, kind of mean to him, call him bootlicker and shit like that. And we have one listener.
That bootlicker.
Yeah, we had one listener who kind of went hard in the Voice of the People page on good old Broccoli.
Can we address something? All right, remember we the whole podium thing, and Eric posted it. So I said, look, we debunked it on the show because he made a big post about it. He's like, I just took that picture off my own TV, laughy, crying face. What else would the screen facing his podium be?
What screen?
Can
he circle it?
I mean, well, you didn't. There was a screen of sorts, but I don't think it was a fucking teleprompter.
It wasn't in front of Biden.
That far from Biden. He ain't fucking reading that with his eyes, bro.
A teleprompter is right up in front of him.
I'm gonna tell. We are addressing this.
It's
live, dude. Watch.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
It's
good.
Simple.
Well,
right. No, I feel I know where that energy is coming. I know that noise. All right. I'm looking at some of his recent.
Well, because we're just kind of trailing off.
Insulin,
here.
It's like the price of water. Trump. Oh wow.
There goes the
That's bad. The thing? The thing? What thing? What thing?
Weren't you looking for a thing?
I'm looking for a thing.
What thing? What are we doing? What are you looking for?
We're all in agreement. Yes, we are in agreement.
What are you going to do with the rest of your week?
Fucking post, Obama. Wow,
Masturbate every day, furiously.
I believe Adam when he says that. Panjo, what are you doing?
He just confessed
Most
to the
likely
country being
more
owned
masturbation,
by company.
Masturbation.
But
That's cool.
I'm gonna go to Olita, go canoeing.
There's a lot of shit
Ooh.
posting.
I'm excited.
That sounds fun.
Yep.
I'm going to be, I got to upload, viewers, I'm uploading Stuck in the Middle 59, and then, because I didn't get to do it last week, so I got 3 videos to upload this week, and then I'm doing the old hard drive switcheroo again.
Right, here it is, and then I got a impassioned statement for everybody here. All right, so Shadowman made the post that says, Brock, you lame as fuck, done him from the show. We have 26 comments as a result. We have a laugh, react, some likes, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's it's
so-
almost like a non-issue. Like it's
honestly, I don't want to give it too much attention. So, what I wanted
Fuck that motherfucker! Kill him.
I wanted to compliment.
Yeah, how dare someone have discourse?
You know
and
what?
different opinions.
Just go to Voice of the People to see it. I'm gonna read Adam's comment because I was proud that he, stuck up for not only this show, but for somebody that we really appreciate having on the show.
And much respect.
So yeah, especially with the narrative he's defending.
Panjo, we're talking about you.
It ain't fucking easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Adam, where you at? Are you in for when you do a better job? So here's the mic drop. Shadowman. He brings insight that none of us possess, the insight of someone actually interested in implementing change in departments rather than sitting at home and raging at his keyboard about things he would like other people to go out and change. So
Panjo.
everything was a heart react. No, wow, we got a laugh react, but from a dispatcher, so it was an ironic one. And Shadowman was just like, ah. And then Josh chimes in with that, Adam Hose, 100%, dog.
Yep, 100.
That's how we talk.
I think it's 100. Man, I honestly, how do you feel about the live stream? I think it went good because it wasn't really like a show, It was more like
the Mahala, dude.
It was more like a little chill hangout.
Yes.
Panjo, what'd you think of it?
I had a lot of fun.
I'm actually excited.
I'm very. I'm curious about the next few debates.
Listen.
So it goes like this. It goes.
Do you want to be here for the next one?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please,
Oh,
yeah.
love
dude.
it.
You know what?
So I could call out.
Can we lock you in for the next 2
It's already
then?
locked. It's already locked.
Okay, boom.
If there is the fourth one, I'm down.
I think there's only 3.
He's replacing.
There could be. There could be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're going to be.
I'm going to be yours.
You have some upcoming in the next year or this month. You have some upcoming.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be leaving for a little bit, so we're going to need someone to guest host.
I'm in love, and
Panjo's guest hosted before. And
I am in love.
He did good.
With if just in case you have to know, a woman. Okay.
Whoa, man!
Wait, does this mean you're relinquishing the keys to the kingdom?
So we're gonna see how that goes, and I might bring her back with me and marry her. Just saying.
Dude, he's really.
But otherwise, ladies, you can at me, send me your boobs, and
how does she feel?
Persuade me otherwise.
How does this girl feel when you say that? I'm sorry, Adam.
Oh, she loves.
Oh, she's fine when you flirt with other women.
Right. Oh no.
Well,
no. I mean, probably
you're
not.
talking about marrying her, yet you're like,
Yeah.
other women, please still contact me so I can
Persuade
get
me.
your vagina.
Talk me out of it before I fucking give the ball and chain over.
But don't you think that by asking other women to talk you out of it, that might inadvertently talk her out of it because she's hearing you
because she
beg
knows
for other.
When we get to the point where we're together, it's just gonna fall. We're just gonna fit together.
You're really
laying it
really
heavy.
sure of that, huh?
And by the way, we'll talk about this a little bit in more detail later. But in real time, before I tagged him and he watched the entire duration of the show, somebody sent me a motherfucking pedophile, sexual predator who has felt comfortable enough to come back to the realm of fucking Facebook. And Eli expose, man.
Right.
But I gotta watch out with the law. I do want to fucking destroy you.
Did you ever reach out to the guest we were talking about yesterday?
We were talking about a guest yesterday.
Oh wow, you don't remember?
No, hold on. I had a lot of rice yesterday.
A.
Was that a racist joke?
Yeah.
What is this guy talking about?
The,
I heard rice.
Come on, man.
Sorry. Monday.
You mean
You don't remember?
Just hit me.
We were trying to get him in.
For
Big
Monday
get.
Wednesday.
A fighter.
Yeah. That Yeah, I didn't
did you reach out? You were supposed to reach out today.
Today to
ask him if he's good for Monday. Remember we made the thing yesterday to come on the show.
Not to L.
Yeah.
Right? No, you wanted me to do that? Okay, I'll do it.
You're the one who has his number.
Oh, I do. Okay, yes, I know I do. I swear to Christ, I thought
I refused to take his number because I didn't want to mix. You know what? You know what? Actually, give me his number and let me reach out because last time I was here, last time I spoke with him, it went really good, and I'm just gonna go for it.
We made out last time we spoke.
Let me do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's a big get.
I'll give you the number, but now it's
definitely got to do it right for him.
It's a war.
It's a big get.
We have a big fucking guest prepared.
He's a Bellator heavyweight MMA fighter. Bellator is pretty damn. That's like number 2.
BBC motherfucker. You know what I mean, dog?
All right, take it easy. Don't give too much away.
Put that thug life back
what,
on.
BBC? He's got a
big, beautiful cock.
There you go. All right.
Yep.
All right.
There you go.
Adam just
heavyweight champion of the
how is
BBC.
Jehoshaphat?
Any update on Jehoshaphat? I know it's only been a day.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, no, seriously.
No update.
Did you shoot him yet, like I suggested?
No.
With your penis or my firearm?
Mainly just with my penis.
And I don't own a firearm.
You know what I realized, and then we'll get out of here, is I lost my ability to make garbage can shots because I don't play beer pong much anymore.
Ooh, you uncultured swine.
I feel like that's why I've lost my ability to like get a good long distance trash can shot. I'm coming up horrible.
So look at Ashley saying,
and I used to
hit,
I used to hit him fantastic when during the beer pong years.
So why don't you start training?
No, Nisha, you're my number one.
Because I don't believe in alcohol. No, I'm kidding. I do. I just don't binge drink anymore.
Well, why
Good night to you, Brittany.
Why don't you do like a green tea?
And like, have you ever tried to just like play beer pong essentially without alcohol?
I've only played beer pong.
It's
twice.
stupid.
No,
You're stupid.
I'm so much better.
Beer pong without alcohol with just water cups. You're stupid.
You just feel, yes, it is.
You're a big stupid idiot.
You think alcoholics do that sometimes?
Wait,
like just to get the
PR
the flow.
PR damage control. Nisha, my main midwife, and I know what a midwife is. You cunt.
No, you don't.
Nisha,
Good night, Brittany.
Yes, I really do. All right, she's not giving birth to any of my kids. I love you, baby. Everything here is just a show. All right, you are my number one, and we will make that soul bond.
And if there's ever a time that's not true, your boy.
No, fuck this guy.
Way younger, way more energetic.
Way younger,
way better looking,
more energetic.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna side with Adam on this.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with that.
He is inexperienced, confused.
Hey, you're getting married.
He doesn't
you
know.
don't need your
Yes,
hair.
yes.
No. That's if it all works out the way it's planned.
Honestly, I think Eli's gotten too much.
Yep.
I've got too much what?
It's time to share the wealth.
Yeah, it's time for Adam to get
but
some.
the wealth is my wealth.
You
find your own wealth.
Listen, you're about democratic socialism.
Exactly.
Share it, bro.
No.
420.69, sir.
No, that's for everything.
Who?
420.69.
Yeah, no,
sir.
I ain't down on that fucking hill. My women's is my women's, dog.
I don't think they like being referred to as yours.
They are mine, though.
Yeah, it's
love it.
It's 2020, Eli. You can't own a person.
Listen, I'm perfectly fine when you talk about that way about women because I hate women.
I know you do.
As we all know.
Oh my God, you remind me of every fucking second.
Yeah, very big misogynist here, right here. Just chilling in a chair. Big old. They call me Josh the Massage.
Every time you smack that significant other's ass, I see it's so full of hate.
My theme song is quite literally "Smack My Bitch Up." Like, see, I live by that song and I take it literal.
Well, I've seen it. You have to be slapping. No, nobody else is.
Oh no,
he likes to be slapped.
No.
He likes to cuddle and he likes this sound a lot.
Right. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. No, that's actually way too loud. It's more like this. No. That's too loud. That's pucker. It's.
Ooh. Lots of those trailing up.
I used to have.
From your
tell me what this is. Tell me like what this is. I used to have these dreams, and the only thing I remember about them is that
they were wet.
There was this weird goo in my mouth. No.
Oh God.
They were. It was this weird silence, and there was a sound of like a.
Looks like he's giving a blowjob.
And but it was so like unsettling. Like what kind of sound? What type of sound emotion is that? Like why?
Sound emotion?
Like
do emotions have sound?
Is that considered like ASMR? Does ASMR give me like the heebie-jeebies?
I think I do. I think I found a little, I think poker for you there.
It could be like a frequency hitting your ears.
What was your word?
Here, like listen to this. Like this is a sound I hate too.
Kunzi?
No, you said facunzi. What would you say, sir?
I don't know.
You said some elaborate word.
Listen to this. This is a sound I hate too. Listen.
Don't do it.
Listen.
Okay, nope. I am taking my headphones half off. Shh. No,
Hang on.
I'm not hushing. I don't want to hear this.
Because Eli's headphones are cranked, so just take it off so I can do it.
Eli is getting married,
Ready?
So I'll take President
Hang on,
Adam.
stop talking.
No, I want to hear it.
Shh.
Fuck you. Panda, you're
Yeah, that's fine.
Panda, you're mine too.
That's chewing, bro. What are you talking about?
No. Chewing
sounds like peaches and cream, bro.
That's chewing.
You're really shittily eating
like that
pussy.
thing you're no it's this thing that sometimes like a dry mouth or
mouth
or just like somebody maybe older does, like it's this noise that like your mouth makes in between sounds.
It's the sound of contracting herpes.
Oh
man, you're on a roll today, bro. Go ahead.
I get it. Like it's like especially an older person, like
yeah, just dry mouth and oh man,
fucking like horse or cow mouth.
But it's at the end of every word.
But why'd you dream about something like that?
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you, Josh?
Weird shit.
Get checked in and call your uncle.
Panjo, thank you so much for coming in, man.
It's the sound of the Vibe Tribe.
When is the next debate?
Joe Pan.
Let's look it up.
Yeah,
Adam,
let's do it.
look it up. When's the next debate? I believe it's a week from tomorrow.
So, all right,
I believe
so
it's October 7th.
There's going to be two between Biden and Trump, and then one between.
There's only three. I believe there's only three in total.
Okay, so one between Trump and Biden.
It's all Biden and Trump. All three are Biden and Trump.
What about the vice president debate?
Well, I don't know if we're doing those, but there's three presidential debates.
Okay.
October 15th is the second. October 22nd is the third.
Oh damn! So it's not October. Why did the motherfucker say October 7th?
October 7th is the vice presidential debate.
Okay,
Harris
there you
versus
go.
Pence.
There you go. So we're definitely not going to be streaming the vice presidential debate. But so what's the first one? October what?
I licked the mic.
Don't lick the mic.
I did.
It's only you. It's only you.
Wait, come on. We forgot already?
No, I closed the link.
Really?
I'm paying attention to Eli's fucking noises, bro. It's killing me.
Eli starts to do weird shit when he.
The 15th and the 22nd.
Okay, so the 15th.
When he what?
So what day's the fucking 15th?
Let's look.
I'm looking right now.
Hey, when he what? Finish your statement.
October 15th is a Thursday.
When I.
Okay, and then 22nd is a Thursday.
Thursday.
Can you? So.
I always open on Thursdays.
It's a special day. That's it. Just the
finish your statement. When Eli what? He always does that when he what?
I forget. I don't know.
Drink.
Yes.
Well, I was trying to not say that,
you
but
can
yeah.
file him, motherfucker. Shit.
Okay, no, like you like to do like you like to just do like annoying things.
No,
know?
I do whatever the fuck I want.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you pull like an Eric. Exactly, like you proved my point.
Eli's a boss ass bitch.
I am. I'm a strong, independent woman.
I'm a boss ass bitch.
You're a strong, independent.
Oh
woman.
damn! By the way, Panda saying, by the way, she's not yours, Eli's. She's President Adams.
Yes, if I get married.
Whatever.
I mean, I guess if that's the way you want to look at it.
Pandra, my man, thank you for coming out. Everyone else, thank you for tuning in to whatever the fuck this was tonight.
And every woman that's in the chat is married to me now. Thank you.
Oh boy, we appreciate you all. We will be back Monday with or without a guest. We'll figure it out. Thank you all for tuning in live on My Mic Radio, live on Facebook, live on Twitch every Monday, every Wednesday. We love you. We'll see you next time.
And it's not too late to share the episode. Destroy your enemies.
Share Stuck Live, baby. We'll see you.
Have a good day, bro.
Oops. I got some more liquor.
Oops. Hang on. Hang on. Ready? Let's pretend to do it again. Go share Stuck Live and do that again. Okay, bye. Oh, wow. That was weird. Thank you guys for letting us be weird with you. We love you. We'll see you later. Bye.